Welcome back to Books on Tap. It's been a while, but
Welcome,
we're
welcome,
back.
welcome.
I'm
Sunday.
Dylan. That's Kieran. That's Rylan. Yeah, different day. No longer. We did on Wednesdays before, right?
Yep, changing it up.
It's been a while.
We did Wednesdays, we did Fridays for a couple of weeks there. Now we're on Sunday. It's been over a month, but we out here.
We out here. We're back. It's been a while since we finished reading Lost Metal, so we're coming at it
Yep.
with some. What's the word? Lazy eyes? I don't know. It's been a while.
Some dust. Some dust.
We don't
Accumulated.
Dust on the brain.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're excited to talk about Lost Metal because man, this book was fucking insane. It was just
Good. It was very good.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just remember it being just like banger after banger after banger. Just like every chapter is like a new reveal, and it's like, oh my god, who's this man that can turn crystal into goddamn everything?
Yeah, Marassi's whole storyline was on a whole different level. Like it's a separate entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear Ryland's impressions of the Emperor's Soul sorcery.
I started reading Emperor's Soul. I'm almost done it. I
Oh,
am
you
loving
did?
it. So good, man.
I
It's so
loved
fun.
it. I
I'm on
see.
like I'm you're not gonna like where I'm at because I'm at like day 98 or something. So I'm right at the climax of the story.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
remember you
right.
guys saying the ending was like insane. I think I'm on like either the last. I don't know how many chapters there are after this, but it's a
Yeah.
huge. It's getting close.
Some quick Emperor's Soul chatting. I thought the Emperor's Soul was like the majority of the book was like was good. It wasn't like incredible, I thought, but it was worth it for the ending, I thought. Was my
I
take.
I like it. I don't know. I don't think it's like incredible writing or anything, but I don't know. I really enjoy it. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. It's very satisfying. I like how the chapters are kind of shorter. I think it really makes it easy to read, and it's just a very interesting predicament, you know. And it's simple, but I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just one room and she's in it, and you just feel that with her, and it's like I don't know. It's very satisfying to read, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the internal strategizing from her is just so interesting and so good. I thought.
Yeah, and she's so smart. Just so high IQ. She's just playing with people who are super high IQ too, and just like
Putting fake notes in the book so that
yeah,
they try to replicate it and they can't do it, so that she has more
This-
time to survive.
This chapter is
yeah,
getting book or Emperor's Soul spoilers.
Yeah. And for soul spoilers, don't
Emperor's
worry,
Soul
it'll be in
spoilers.
the. I guess if you're watching live, there's no hope for you. But
Yeah, even we're not gonna go back and change and notify.
yeah. Sorry,
Let's be real.
sorry,
Maybe I will. Maybe I will after.
sorry, one viewer got spoiled.
Yeah,
sorry, Saoirse.
yeah. But damn, yeah, Lost Metal was nuts. So much insane Cosmere stuff here in this one.
Saying Cosmere stuff.
Yeah, quite
Insane.
cool. What were your
Yeah.
guys's? I mean, yeah. Any other impressions you got? Initial impressions?
Thought it had I think every part had its own unique like strengths, and I enjoyed how we started. I think we started pretty slow in a good way in part one, and then it just ramped up to infinity by the end of it, which is exactly what we expect from a Brando Sando final book in the series. And I think it had a pretty satisfying ending for most characters. So yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Not much to complain about.
Ron, you got any
Yeah.
more thoughts?
I think you guys have said it all. Yeah, I was very impressed.
Podcast over.
Podcast
Yeah,
over.
I
Lost
don't know.
Metal, just go read it.
Yeah, it was worth the read. I really appreciated the slow start. I'm a big fan of slow starts. I don't know what that says about me, but it's good. And then yeah, it escalated in a good way, and I thought, yeah, the ending for one of our characters was beautiful in its own way, and I really liked that. And I just thought there was a lot of like the character connections. Like I was wondering, because this is the last book, this is the last time we'll see. Like, so I was wondering how much time they'd spend on different connections with different people, and I think that they put like time in the right places is basically the right way of saying it. I didn't realize I needed so much more of Wax and Wayne, but I'm really happy that I got that. You know, at the like there was some like really good parts between those two, and I like thought we'd had like kind of all of it that we needed from that. But I was really glad they spent more time there, and kind of like that was really cool to see. And
I think we predicted that this would be more of a Wax and Wayne book.
Yeah,
coming back full circle from the first book, and it
Yeah.
was so.
Yeah, but also gave like Marassi and Steris a lot of space to shine as characters
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah,
yep.
and it being by far the longest book helped with that.
It
So, yeah.
definitely did.
Yeah.
It's a chonky boy compared to the other ones.
Yeah,
And I like it, man.
Stormlight level, not quite Stormlight level, but a good size book.
Not even half of Stormlight level.
Oh my god, we were reading so much for a while there, eh? We were like 300 pages.
Well,
a
we're
week.
also doing a podcast per part of Stormlight. We do one part.
Yeah, but we did sometimes 2 parts. Sometimes we read like 300 pages a week. That's pretty impressive.
We were doing 300 a week, I would say.
And then Dylan was finish it in like 2 days, and he'd be like, "Guys, hurry up!" Me and Kieran would be like, "Oh."
And we'd be like, no, we're forced to finish it now.
Yeah,
Podcast.
yeah, that was fun though. It was fun. I like reading lots. It's fun. It was so you were really engaged with the book more so than we are now. I feel like when we do it like this. So,
Yeah.
doing it by parts and stuff, and then we were a lot better at predicting what's going to happen, and it was just a lot. It was really exciting, like, going back to reading after having a discussion. I like that. So.
I'm really excited to read like another longer book again, like Stormlight.
Yeah, me too.
Night's Wind and Truth, baby, please, Brando.
September, right? Or is it
It's December,
Is it next
dude.
year?
December.
This year?
Yeah.
Confirmed? I think it's not gonna
Yeah.
come out.
As confirmed as it can be, but it might get delayed again. But
Yeah, we gotta discuss if we're doing Stormlight again soon, because that's gonna take like
Take a
think-
probably 4 months.
we start. Yeah.
A month per book.
We can wait till the end of summer to talk about that
Yeah, we could just grind it from September to December.
if we want to.
Yeah, that'd be kind of a good thing to do over like if the book came out in like March to get over like the winter sadness. Do it between like November to like February. It's like you can't have bad vibes if you read
Just escape
through. Yeah, just escape through the books.
Escape to the books, yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny.
yeah, no, it's good. Because then the holiday season too, you can get a bit extra reading, and I don't know, that'd be fun. But, anyways, I'm stoked. We gotta plan our cabin trip to read it together and read every chapter together. Take turns reading aloud.
stand up.
Take turns reading aloud.
Give me the sermon.
Yeah, an altar.
Yeah.
The altar.
A picture of Brandon Sanderson with like candles.
Yeah.
Every time you pick up the book, you have to put on the Brandon Sanderson cape,
Yes.
put on
Yes.
the costume.
Oh God,
I'm committed. I'll
horrifying.
book it tonight.
Vacation.
All right, shall we get into the going over the plot here, talking
Yes.
about it?
Yeah.
Man, that opener with the Wayne flashback, that really got me. I was like, I know this is gonna be a good book after that flashback.
I was surprised by the tone.
It's very
Seemed
sad.
it's so much darker than the other 3 epilogues.
Yeah, contrasted with the end, it's like, damn, Wayne, or yeah, fucking tragic fucking bit for Wayne.
Yeah, I feel like it worked really well. Like the
Mhm.
Wayne having such turmoil internally, and having more moments of his past be revealed, and like more insight into why he acts the way he does. It all worked for me in this book, and
Yeah.
it started here.
I think I like this bit with Wayne really like because there was a lot of like overarching conversation about like the structure of society throughout this book particularly. And I think it really works having Wayne's perspective, like first person perspective of like how he got into the place that he was and came back out of it and stuff. And I really like that we have like that overarching like societal commentary, but it's like also like implemented through Wayne as a character as well. And you can kind of see it a bit firsthand how it's
Yeah,
occurring to
yeah.
people.
I think the other characters speak a bit more as like as we would talk about the news. Like you're a little bit
Mhm.
secondary, third hand, disconnected. Whereas Wayne, he just sees what's in front of him and comments on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 1.
Yeah, so this bit's just Wayne and Marassi going through the sewers to try and find the set, I guess, right? They're trying to find all that.
Yes, they're trying to find some underground smuggling operations and stop them.
And fucking Wayne's getting broken up by Milan. L.
Yeah, L for Wayne. 6 years have passed since the previous events of the last book.
Yeah, how did you guys feel about the time skip? Were you expecting that big of a time skip?
Nope, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it worked well,
Mhm.
especially as the first 3 books were so close together.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the time skip worked well.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it made sense.
It's just really funny seeing Wax with like children now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, man, still gotta save the world.
Yeah.
it was an easy way to show that he has grown as a person, but also you gotta have a book, right? You gotta have a crazy story with him saving the day. So
Mhm.
if it had happened right away, then he wouldn't have grown as much, like in our eyes as readers.
Yeah. So what do Wayne and Marassi find while they're down there?
They found
Operation.
a hemalurgic man.
Hemorrhagic man. He said some crazy shit when he died. He's like,
Yeah.
"God, the red, the red mist will consume the world."
Very very evil villain.
Yeah,
Death for him.
yeah. There's some fun stuff with hemorrhagy in this book for sure.
Yeah, very OP people.
Yeah,
Never really explained how they're not getting controlled by Harmony
that
with
was
like
explained
six spiked.
Is this Trellium?
because they have the Trellium spike.
It's not too.
Yeah, yeah, that's the explanation.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was an explanation.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's a decent explanation because, like, it's not a medal of harmony, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
different.
but
It's different
isn't-
investiture.
It negates all the other ones somehow.
Um, it didn't negate all of them, right? Because they couldn't get more than like 3 or 4, right?
Just extended the ability to get a couple more spikes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I assume it's not just like because Harmony is also his ability of perception was vastly fucking decreased. Like Trell was fucking with him real hard.
Yeah, which
Who
was
we now
also
know is autonomy. Oh my god.
Yep. That wasn't really explained either how that's happening, other than just Trell is fucking with him. But I guess
Yeah, that was odd.
not everything needs an explanation, though. It's fine.
Yeah. I assume there's probably gonna be some throwaway comment in some other book about how it's possible.
Yeah. It happened one time with Harmony.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that one doesn't necessarily need too much explanation. Like to me, it's kind of just like believable that autonomy, you can just like fuck with Harmony, especially when Harmony's kind of
Two conflicting ideas at
yeah,
once.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Force
Like
is dead,
Harmony
bro.
did feel very constrained. Like yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely give it a pass. It's like when you're dealing with the god stuff, that high level Cosmere stuff, it's totally passable. Like there's
Mhm.
nothing. It's just so that's just part of the universe. So yeah.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that really happens down there is Marassi does like a speed bubble thing and sees some like weird woman pop out outside who we'll get
Oh yeah.
back to later. The Ghost Bloods.
Watching her.
How'd you guys? What are your thoughts on the Wayne Marassi partnership? Did you find that
It's good,
an
I guess.
interesting dynamic?
Yeah, just good.
Yeah, just
I don't
good.
have too much to say about it. It worked. It wasn't like incredible, but it worked.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I feel the same way.
Yeah, like it made you think a bit about like how the like oh wow Wax isn't or Wayne's not with Wax anymore. Like that's weird. But like I don't know. It definitely helped like give them a bit more individuality. I think showing them with other people, like working with like Wayne working with Marassi and stuff. I think it was a good
Yeah,
idea.
I can believe that. The friendship seemed believable. So.
Yeah, it seemed believable. I think it helped them develop as characters for sure. I can't point to exactly how they developed, but they seemed like they were good for each other, a good partnership, and yeah, nothing incredible came from it, I don't think, but just like yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like Wayne kind of needed it for his arc to have a bit more into that individuality, like from Wax. You know, like it's been the Wax and Wayne, and Wax is the main character, and Wayne's kind of the side dude.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely felt like less of a sidekick in this book.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, they do a lot
All
of
right.
stuff separate in here.
Mm.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Steris and Wax are politicians now.
yeah, and they're fucking trying to get the outer cities to have some kind of political control, and everyone's like, "Fuck you." The outer cities want to fucking revolt, and the inner cities people are just like, "Fuck them." And
Yeah.
yeah, there's basically there, yeah,
No,
lots
it
of
was
lots of
good.
corruption.
I was hoping all of the politics stuff that I was hoping to see in the last book happened in this book.
Hmm.
It felt, yeah, it was like clearly pulled from real political events in our world. Felt very believable, especially with the third party of the you call it the masked guys from the south.
Oh yeah,
Malwish.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Malwish.
Malwish. Yeah, that them being like Loki, like wanting them to fight,
Yeah, yeah,
having ambassadors there and stuff.
yeah.
That was a really good element added to the book as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I agree with all that stuff, but the whole Malwish getting added, I feel like was kind of just like a weird side thing, you know? Like
I think it's gonna have big ramifications in the future. But like that's the thing. There's no next book in this realm, so it's really odd.
yeah, well, there's gonna be Era 3 and Era 4.
Yeah, I know, but like, are they gonna? Are the Malwish? I guess. Like, that was an unsatisfying ending for sure with the Malwish. But it felt like there's so much more to come from them. But it is weird that we're gonna have a huge time gap. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't. Yeah, this book definitely wasn't satisfied with the Malwish.
Yeah, I think specifically Bands of I feel like that's more of a criticism of Bands of Morning for like because Bands of Morning I felt like was very weird introducing the Malwish. It's like what the hell? We're like book 3 and we're introducing a whole new content of like it seemed a bit much for me. And I think this book like continued with that and that like I
yeah,
mean they
it
had
felt like
good purpose in this book, but it wasn't like felt like they needed to be more.
What did they even do in this
it's
book?
like they got introduced in the last book, so they have to be there in some capacity.
Mhm.
And that's where it felt like Brandon was coming from in terms of the Malwish. It's like, okay, what's their involvement going to be? They exist in the world now. We have to give them something to do.
Yeah, I feel like they were mostly added just for world building, because like the extent of them being there was like, oh, they're like racist against each other, kind of. And
I
it's
think it
like
also created a
them
constant
growing
like
political
tension.
tensions. Yeah.
Yeah, it created a large tension in the book, knowing like the Malwish could come at any time and just mess everyone up. Like the political tension, like oh shit, we really got to get this figured out. Like that whole like that chapter, like the first chapter of them like going and getting voted down the outer cities, like that decision and that stress that Wax was feeling felt so much more intense because he knew that like the Malwish will come in and wipe them out, and the Malwish just sitting there like laughing and like wanting it to happen. Like Kieran was saying, like that added a lot of extra stress. If there wasn't no Malwish, like it's like I don't know, it'd be like outer cities or I guess versus inner cities, but like it would be so much less stress, so much more imminent potential for
Yeah, I like it being there.
catastrophic failure.
I like it being there for that exact reason.
Yeah. Like yeah, it did add stuff to it, and like I did enjoy those bits being there.
But yeah, I like the politician Wax and Steris. Seems very believable that that's what they would be doing 6 years later. Trying to tackle bigger problems. Wax has been called out for that by his enemies. So he's trying to
Especially
become bigger than just himself.
hmm And like he
Yeah.
wants to not be Harmony's sword.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense for him as a character to be pushed towards that. And like it really helps support his him not wanting to be like Harmony's sword, kind of giving him being an individual that's doing things for himself kind of goes against that like perspective that he has. So like him being like a politician and trying to help everyone, and I think is a selfless act for him because he's not doing it for power for sure. Like 0%.
Yeah. He's like constantly frustrated.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah, but it's also kind of ironic that he's a politician at the same time. It's like of all the things he could do to help other people, he's doing the one that gives him the most power and control of everything.
Yeah.
Like he's
well,
still
I
got
guess
that, yeah.
he's also like assuming the reins of in this society you get half the people are voted in and half the people have hereditary right to be a politician, and he's like, I have this power, might as well try to do it properly. Yeah. And I really like Wax and Steris again. Like I think they just really work well together. Very believable.
Yeah.
Super
Such
good.
a believable relationship there. I really
like I love the part where they're sorting through newspapers looking for the bombs, like quakes and stuff, and they're like pointing out funny headlines to each other. Just little touches like that. Great. Yeah.
Kieran knew, man. Kieran saw it from the beginning. Wax and Steris was meant to be. Not from the beginning, but he saw it earlier than me and you, Dylan. I remember that.
I was hoping.
Dylan and I were done. We were like, "Come on, Barassi, let's go." Step up to the plate, man. It didn't matter. Nope. Kieran saw the true love. Beautiful. Yeah, no. And then Wax gets the earring after he gets frustrated by the Senate after it gets voted down from Harmony.
Every time. Hey, bro. Beginning of every era 2 book. Hey, bro, I got an earring for you. No, I don't want your earring.
I left you three voice messages, bro. Pick up, bro.
Pick up, bro, literally. Yeah. Then there's some Malwish airship that comes by. They're posturing, kind of stuff we already talked about.
The hardcore general is there.
Yeah. Wax is bringing his kid along.
That guy stressed me out though. That interaction, I was like, "Oh damn, this is a war leader.
Yeah,
this is not gonna end well."
Yeah, and they're talking about using the bands of mourning. That whole shit that the bands of mourning at the end was really fucking weird. I felt like it didn't make any sense at all that they took it, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
Well, just
Tensoon came in. They gave all the power to Tensoon.
Yeah.
What?
anything related to the Bands of Mourning is like, what the fuck's happening? What is this?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like the Malwish were like, haha, you used the thing actually, and so now we get it. And it's like that didn't actually happen. Like
That was so
it
weird.
just made like it felt like they were trying to catch them in like some like technicality, but the technicality didn't even happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think that was all pre-planned. Like, I wonder if they thought that they were gonna bring Tensoon in to, like, I don't know, man. Like, that was all like that seemed like it was
that was.
pre-planned.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
Harris was like definitely like thinking it was pre-planned.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll deal with that later.
yeah. It just didn't make any sense that they gave it up.
Well, Tensoon said that after he's like, "That was a fuck up." They're like, "What are you doing,
Yeah.
Tensoon? What do you
I
mean?"
can kind of believe it because they were like,
Like,
there was so much crazy shit happening to them at that moment that they were like, "Well, there goes that guy. I guess we'll deal with that later." Right now, our
I
city's
guess
about to
we'll
get blown
deal
up
with
by a
that
missile.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tensoon just came off as such a dude there. Like, I guess technically you're right. He's like, "Oh, what did I do?"
3,000-year-old being in that moment.
No, no, he came off as such a noob,
Mm.
man.
Oh yeah. Then something else was the one of my favorite fucking parts of this whole book was the when Wayne's debt collectors come and they're just people who manage his like
Yeah,
multi-million-dollar estate.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just so funny all of his conversations with them. Like
Yeah.
the baseball thing where it's like
yeah, yeah.
men invents baseball. It's oh man.
Yeah, which I think I want to go back and actually see, like, because I think in the first part they say how much his estate is worth, and I'm pretty sure it's worth a lot more than that at the end of the book. So
Oh
his
yeah.
baseball bet paid off. It paid off hard. Yeah,
Yeah. That was so good, and I like how the beginning they're like, "Fucking Wayne's up to some sauce things." Like, he's got people like, "I don't know if we're gonna be able to chase these people away this time. They're pretty aggressive." Everyone thinks like he owes all this money from like gambling or something,
Yeah.
and he's like gonna get killed by these people. Like, yeah,
like
it's good.
you had the highest share in electricity 3 years before electricity became a thing, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. It's like,
Yeah, because he and that all happened because he like listened to that girl he impersonated
yeah,
the rival for. Yeah, that was so funny.
yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite aspects. Was all those bits had so much little bits of like social commentary on like investing and like just social uh
yeah, like,
people behind the scenes kind of like pushing social stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was quite, and it was fucking
What-
hilarious too every
put a
time.
real thing into a ridiculous context, and it was hilarious. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that
else
was
happened
awesome.
in part one? A science experiment in the
Yeah. The
basement.
science experiment. That was
Yeah.
so weird coming back to that after fucking Harvey's like, yeah, so there was actually a bunch of Laurasian that was created. No one fucking knows about it, and no one else will ever know about it.
Yeah,
And you guys didn't realize it. Yeah.
yeah. I actually figured a way to do it.
That's gonna be. Do you think that's gonna be a huge part of the next book?
Dude, I feel like it's gonna be a huge
It can't be too big though. Like, I think it's too OP.
It is too OP.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit OP. And I feel like there's some Stormlight implications there for sure. Given um given what the Ghost Bloods are trying to do.
Oh yeah, you can
'Cause
take some Laurasium off world. Oh my god.
yeah. Or like the whole thing is like they're trying to get Stormlight off world. I'm assuming that's because Kelsier still doesn't know that you can make a Laurasium.
Right. Anything that
Mm.
that grants investiture.
Mhm.
That was good though. Steris being like going through all the safety steps.
Yeah, and it paid off.
It's so good.
Go Steris, man. Yeah, I love her ending too. Her ending's so so
Yeah.
fun.
I didn't find the Alec and Marassi relationship believable very much at all.
No, that was just kind of like felt like high school sweetheart
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Which I
Yeah,
guess
that was
was
a bit
the
weird.
point of just what he was trying to go for, but
Yeah.
just didn't feel like Marassi would be like that. And we don't really know anything about Alec.
I don't know. It's kind of like a feel good moment. Like I like a feel good moments between them. I felt true happiness for them. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was annoying.
It wasn't
Well,
annoying. Yeah, I
small
didn't
part.
get annoyed. But
It was a really small part. Book.
Yeah. And like I don't know. I don't know. It's a cute spot. It's cute parts in there.
this hot
I can
chocolate.
appreciate. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it's a little. I definitely felt like a little bit of like uninterest and like I don't. Yeah, kind of weird.
Well, I think
but
it's just
but
Alec just isn't very built out as a character. Like all he did really was like
Make hot chocolate.
make hot
Make
chocolate,
baking.
bring cookies. Everyone else is doing
Yeah.
insane shit, and then he just comes in with cookies.
Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't part of the missions or anything. He's just staying home baking.
Yeah. In the last book, he was MVP. He got
Yeah.
MVP. It was like transportation, translation,
Yeah.
warmth. Yeah. So, bit
He's
weird.
became a housewife.
He literally did just become a housewife. Yeah.
The man knew what he wanted, and he got it.
No. There's
You know,
probably some
respect.
commentary there.
Yeah.
Some social
Yeah.
commentary. Some role reversal.
Good thing we don't have to analyze that.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, moving on.
I'm just reading one of this next summary bits where Milan tells Wayne that she's leaving him.
Yeah.
And she tells him he was her best lay ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 2,000-year-old being, bro.
Yeah, just gotta pump that ego a bit. Yeah, that was pretty big memes.
That was so odd. That was good. That was good stuff, man. So at the end of the day, so sorry, she left him. What was her reasoning again?
I don't know. She was an immortal being, and she had a mission. She had to go on a mission for.
Oh, she chose
Harmony,
to.
right?
She chose to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she chose the mission because she realized that it was impossible to continue her relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was a bit more though insight. Was it just because
Not
she's
really.
immortal and like she's like this is silly because you're immortal and you're gonna die. So like I don't want to deal with that heartache
I don't
because
think
I'm
there's any of that.
gaining like real feelings for you. No.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like, well, 6 years had passed, which for Wayne felt like a long time, but for her felt like a couple weeks. And she realized like how much more
He was into her.
long lasting.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're like oh we've only been together for 6 years. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean you want to be my girl?
Yeah.
What do you mean you want to start dating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Basically. So she left.
Yeah. It was funny with the Wayne conversations with what's the gunsmith lady's name?
Renette.
Renette and her wife.
Yeah.
Her girlfriend.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, man. I like the part when this is the book when they call him out.
For giving money to the.
Yeah, for going and seeing him every day. And I was like, damn, that was a good little part. Like, hey, you're selfish for doing that. You don't realize. And I never thought about it like that, but it was pretty selfish.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it was really well done how you agreed with Renette, but also you totally understood where Wayne was coming from. Like he wasn't a bad person. He just didn't think about it in that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta talk to people, man. Gotta get different perspectives. Your perspective probably isn't very correct. Yeah, that was nuts. That was good.
Right. Anything else that happens that's important in part 1? Probably lots of stuff. But...
Yeah, I'm kind of just looking through it. Not too much stuff. It's like Vendel tells them they're forbidden to talk to something about by Harmony.
Yeah, Harmony recruits Wax again.
Yeah.
Puts the earring in. He goes to the Shadow Realm. They talk for a while.
The Shadow Realm. Yeah. I'm really fucked, man. I need your help, bro. Why weren't you answering my emails?
Yeah, yep, that's basically exactly what happened.
You're back to the washroom.
Then
Harmony's worried.
then everyone goes to Bilming.
Yeah.
Is this part 1 still, or are we on part 2 now?
They're still in part 1. Or like they look through all they're like trying to figure out what was going on. They're looking for accidental explosions for testing something. Then
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wax realizes they're
They
building
realize the
a
potential.
nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They realize the
they're
potential of
trying to
combining
smuggle it.
Trellium and Harmonium.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. One comment from that is like it felt so obvious from the beginning what they were trying to do, and it felt like it took the characters forever to figure out that they were trying to smuggle something into the city instead of out.
Yeah.
Like the first time it was like, oh, they're checking to see what gets past customs. Like that was it. Like I felt like that one piece of knowledge was just like immediately like, oh, okay, they're trying to bring something in.
Yeah. It took them a long time to figure that out, but I feel like they knew about the bomb potential fairly quickly, like 3 chapters after the experiment. They just didn't put 2 and 2 together. They were gonna smuggle the bomb in.
Yeah.
But they put together a team.
It seemed really weird that it took them so long when normally like Wax is like so OP with figuring stuff out like instantly.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess Wax is also kind of like he's not doesn't have his foot in the door yet of detective work. He's kind of debating whether he
Mm,
wants to actually help in this
yeah,
situation.
but also Marassi's pretty good at it too. And like, the fact I don't know,
Yeah. Marassi
it
should
just
have been
felt
better.
weird that it took them that long to figure it out for me. Like because I the whole time I was like, what the like how are they not realizing it already? Like it just keep evidence, 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 and they're like each one of these individually, I felt like was enough to be like, oh, they're obviously trying to smuggle like something in, and it's just like they kept not getting it, or like saying it was something else, or like I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was a long part. It was a long part of them trying to figure it out. True, but and they go make a team
Now they're heading
without
to
Wax at first.
building.
Just Wayne, Marassi, and Bendel.
Mhm.
Bendel is pretending to be the cycle, which they captured and killed.
And then we get Moonlight,
Oh yeah, Moonlight.
Moonlight the driver. Welcome in the Ghost Bloods. I quite like Moonlight. She was kind of cool.
Yeah, Moonlight was a good character for just like the gateway to the Cosmere character as a gateway to the Cosmere.
Mm.
I didn't find her super interesting outside of that because she had so much lifting to do in terms of that aspect of the story, just like explaining Cosmere stuff.
Yeah. She was just like a very basic spy character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like ambiguous what her motives are, but on your side for now. And yeah, generic spy character who knows more than she's telling.
Yeah, the classic. Um,
But yeah, like it's cool how like Hoyd is there always in
he's
this book
always the
too.
driver. Yeah, he's there where there's stuff happening.
And it's like everybody knows Hoyd, and nobody really knows which side Hoyd is on. Like Moonlight knows him, but also Wax knows him, so that's
He's
good.
just a bard, man. He's doing his own thing.
He's doing his own thing, playing the raccoon character in Root, bro.
Dude, he's the vagabond.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
he is the
that
best.
and it'll immediately eliminate this man from existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like they try to set up like a snare for the set, and then like they they end up running into the other the Bilming police who also were
Doing a sting at the same
doing
time.
a sting. Yeah, they double sting it, and then politically shit goes to shit because it's like
Yeah.
inner cities doing politics or policing outside.
Yeah, really good sequence. Like as soon as the cycle or whatever the set guy finds out that both the police forces are there, he's like, he was going to go quietly, and then he's like, oh fuck, I'm going to kill everyone now.
Yeah.
I feel like that was very gangster movie esque.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the whole plot there made a lot of sense and was quite quite interesting. Like I felt like I haven't seen like a plot too much like that before.
Yeah, it felt new. It felt fresh for this series, for sure.
Yeah, and then like
Especially in the book.
yeah, especially Wax being like, "Fuck it, I can't go back."
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm staying
Yeah,
out.
he's like, yeah, because Wax needs to get brought back to the or like he needs to go back and explain himself to basically like stop political tensions from boiling over. He's like, no, I gotta fucking find this bomb, bro.
Yeah, which did happen in the last book. The same exact thing where he was like framed for murder.
That's
And
actually
so never
true,
really, barely got resolved at all. Like it did kind of, but not really. They were like, "Hey, what about when you got framed for murder?" And he's like, "Ah, yes, we'll have to deal with that." And then the book ends. It's like, yeah,
I'm a politician now.
yeah. Now I have many supporters in the city and many enemies.
Feels like a certain politician.
Which one? Oh yeah. Oh, the big man. Man in orange.
Yeah. Big oh man. Wax is Trump guy.
Wax
Wax is Trump. Gets framed for murder. 5 years later, oh, this guy's a politician.
He's the most prominent politician in the land.
Yeah.
I liked the.
Oh, Ryland has returned.
I'm back.
We're just talking about the sting and the outcome of the sting operation, where both the outer and inner city cops are like finding the set, and then they were gonna go quietly. It was interesting that like the Bilming, like the outer cities police, were still trying to like they thought that they had control still, and that there wasn't like incredible corruption in the outer cities, but like they were totally under control, and that like all the courts were totally fucked to like they thought they were capturing all these dudes, and then that was going to happen, and then they didn't realize they were all going to get released immediately afterwards.
Yeah
that was nuts. Yeah, he wanted to get captured, and then he realized creating more havoc right now would be way better. And so he starts to go crazy. That was nuts, bro. That was a crazy part.
That was so insane, yeah.
And like they saw it in his eyes, like that twitch change.
Yeah.
An idea. Oh, that was good, man.
I really liked the conversation with Marassi and the Bilming police chief, because it felt very believable.
Yeah.
Like where it's like she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, and then Marassi's like, you have no power. Like, you're literally working for these but she's like trying to do her best and doing what she thinks is right. And then eventually, like, she gets convinced and stuff to like at least help out a bit. Yeah. And then they all get brought in, and then fucking Marsh just walks in, dude. Yeah. That was such an epic moment. Oh my god. Marsh,
like
death. Yeah. You're in custody with the outer cities police, and then Death walks in and is like, release them.
I spent so long trying to figure out like why when he takes the gun and he like crushes it in between his hands. And then everyone's like, that would take such insane skill. And I'm like, literally like thinking about the forces required to do that. I'm like, why does it require so much skill to do that? I still don't know really what's going on there. But I spent like 2 paragraphs talking about how crazy that was.
I know. I didn't really understand that either.
Yeah.
I think it might have been
push and pull at the same time.
Yeah. Or I think it's something to do with like, it's like one object. I don't know. Yeah, actually, that does seem a bit weird. Because we already have the allomantic locks, right? Where you push individual bits of it in certain directions. So I feel like you could push individual bits on the gun to crumple it.
Yeah, and you can just push
Yeah.
from both directions. So it's not like you're using two different powers at once. I don't know. But I'm sure
Can you
Brandon,
push off of two objects at the same time though, like two different walls? Like you can't levitate.
I don't think you can push off two different things at the same time. So maybe he
Oh,
was
actually, maybe you can. That's nuts. Can you? Yeah.
I don't think you
could
can.
like?
I think you can. I think that's a rule.
has to
Is
be
that
one
actually?
object.
Is it a rule?
Okay,
You can
I've
only
never
push off
seen him.
anything else.
I've never seen them levitate other than when they're pushing off an object on the ground and it like hits that equilibrium point. I've never heard them say like a
Dude,
side.
Well, that guy, the guy from the set who caused havoc at the sting, was pushing outwards on all directions. So he must have been able to do that. Multiple targets.
I think that's just that's a Duralumin thing though, kind of thing. Like it's
Well,
I don't know.
Duralumin
That's so
enhances the strength of the ability, but the ability is still the same.
Yeah, dude, that's definitely going to be like a way to
Yeah,
levitate.
yeah.
Like I guarantee you, Era 3 Mistborn or like Era 4 with like space abilities, they're like pushing and pulling
Yeah.
on like yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
don't know. The Duralumin thing though is kind of. I know it is technically just an advancement of ability, but
Yeah.
it does seem to have its own kind of set of abilities sometimes. Is it not at all to you guys?
If you're using a power, no, I think it's just
No, it
enhances.
just enhances Duralman just like
Yeah, because you
it
can push
uses-
out on all
yeah,
parts.
Duralman just
With
like
like-
expends all your medals in one burst basically.
I was just thinking some of the Lord Ruler parts where he would like push on everyone's emotions, but I guess it was just
I think you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that would stop, like rule wise, you from pushing on two things on opposite sides of you to keep yourself in equilibrium. I just think no one's thought of it yet.
bro, Wax. I got
Bro,
I
that'd
got
be
a trick for
the
you.
first thing I tried, bro. That'd be the first thing. Day one, bro. I'd be
Yeah,
trying.
they're all freaking noobs. Good coffee, thanks, Kieran.
Oh, I made that 3 hours ago, bro. You're still drinking?
I know I wasn't gonna drink it because I wasn't gonna have coffee today. I was like, I don't want it to go to waste, so.
Oh no.
And I'm
man.
I'm actually stoked. It's good, and I could use a coffee.
Nice. Yeah, Marsh shows up.
That was weird. He kind of knew that, like, he's like, yeah, they might. This isn't gonna work long though. Like
Yeah.
the mayor's like he'll be phased by me for a minute, but then he'll get back to his senses. Like he knew, man. Like I don't know, he knew a lot. Like, it was good.
Such a classic sequence, though. Like him coming in, like breaking the gun, like super intimidating. And he comes in, he's like, oh, and he's like sits down. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm dying.
yeah.
I don't run that ATM. It's like, and they're like, how did you break that gun? He's like, that's the oldest trick in the book. Fuck, let's go. He's like,
Oldest
Yeah.
book, brother.
That was good, man. I wanted more. I would like more Marsh, man. I don't know if I can live without a little more Marsh in my life. You know,
yeah,
like if that was the last time we saw Marsh ever, wouldn't that be
That'd
like?
be very sad, dude. Marsh is such a good character, and it feels like we need a Marsh standalone book. A Marsh
We
standalone
do?
book would be so good.
yeah.
Like,
we
I
need,
want
we need
like
some recovery
yes.
from that like, absolute pain
Yes.
that we witnessed in the third book of Mistborn, Hero of Ages.
I want to. Yes, and I want like a backstory. Like I don't want modern day Marsh standalone. I want to
No,
like a.
I want modern day Marsh standalone.
I want
but like
really.
yeah, Brandon does so well with taking a character where he's at and then like through flashbacks showing you where they came from.
Oh, yeah,
Like
true.
we could get so
True.
many good like Marsh flashbacks from a standalone book, I think.
Oh,
while
man.
he's doing something like cool for Harmony and like between era 2 and 3 or something.
300 years.
Yeah. Who do you think? Who do you want to know more about more than anyone
than
else? I guess in the
Marsh.
Mistborn, in the Mistborn era, both eras. Who would you pay for the most for a standalone book?
Right now probably Marsh. If like
He's the most mysterious and seems the most interesting.
yeah, Kelsier maybe, but we already kind of have that with Secret History. I'm hoping Secret History 2 will be like Marsh.
Because of the people that have been around since the last
Spook maybe.
era. Yeah, Spook would be good.
I don't know if I can handle a spook, bro. I don't know. I'm still a little
It was
phased.
so
Still.
much more bearable in Hero of Ages.
He
So,
was, yeah.
He was, but like, if he has a standalone, it's gonna be a lot of moments like that, man.
Well, his standalone would be how him and Kelsier figure out how to give him a body.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, he did say, Brandon Sanderson did say he's open to Secret History 2 and 3.
Yeah, hopefully we get that.
Yeah, I think he just has so much information. He has like all these stories, all perfectly like
Yeah.
thought out, and then he's like, "How much am I gonna tell you?
Yeah,
How much?
exactly.
What is gonna actually enhance the experience versus taking away the mystery and excitement of it?"
I think we need the perfect fan service would be a 300-page book, alternating perspectives between Spook and Marsh.
Spook, Marsh, and Kelsier, dude.
And Kelsier is like influencing Spook the whole time, but also we have Breeze who's just there advising.
Breeze.
Yeah,
Breeze is dead though, bro. But actually, Breeze
Is he
is
dead?
not dead. Yeah, Breeze was killed. Remember during
I
the
don't think
battle
so.
in book 2,
no,
wasn't he?
no.
Or
I thought
no,
he was
did
there
he
at the end.
live? Did he live?
Dachshunds died.
Dachshund died. I
Dachshund
thought
died.
Breeze-
I think Ham and Breeze and Spook were the survivors.
Did Ham live?
Didn't Ham?
Yeah,
Oh
Ham-
my god, Ham needs a standalone novel. My boy.
Justice for Ham, dude.
There's
Justice for Ham, man.
Hey, no one's been done nearly as dirty as Ham, bro.
That's true. Ham got
Spook
done
wasn't
the
done.
dirtiest.
I feel bad for Ham, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we need Ham redemption.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for it. God damn it. Poor Ham, bro. Just trying to live his life. Just having some good moments. We had
Yeah.
philosophical conversation. Like, he was such. Oh, man. So much potential. Just fucking
Like,
destroyed.
He pretends to be a philosopher, but he actually sucks ass. How's everyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
Dude, I still liked Ham. You know? I understood the other character's point of view, but they roasted him a little too hard. Then he just never got back on the horse.
There was more roasting than him actually being in the book.
Yeah. It was just any reference to Ham for the last like after book 1 was just him getting roasted.
Yeah.
Just so bad.
Like, yeah, I wonder if he put out book 1 and then everyone just roasted Ham so hard online that he's like, I'm gonna make this a thing. Just roast him the whole time. That'll be Ham's character now.
Dude, there's got to be a words of brand about that. We should look at that after this
We should, man.
podcast.
We should.
Yeah.
Ham didn't deserve that.
Also, Dachshund, bro. Dachshund. Literally, he was like Kelsier's best friend, and then he just dies in book 2.
Yeah, and he also like an angry ending. Like he wasn't like he just didn't get along with Elend. He said fuck Elend, and then he just kind of
And he died.
yeah, and he died. He just didn't like Ellen to the very end. Yeah, that's true. Doc's had a cool vibe when he first came in too, man. I don't know. I thought he was.
He got abandoned as a character very early on.
Yeah, that was not like that. I don't think that's well written. I don't think Doc and Ham are well written. Honestly, Breeze got his time in the limelight. He was well written. Spook is fine, I guess.
Quickly do some stream settings here. You guys can keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
No one was done dirty like that in this freaking era.
No, not nearly as much.
They introduced the port. You knew who the characters were going to be, and they all got good screen time. Book time.
Yeah. So from
Except for the Maulish guy, Alec.
Yeah, Alec didn't get, but he was
no one.
really
Yeah, I didn't really expect much to develop there, honestly.
So yeah, from the police station they leave. They go there. Marassi and Moonlight go on their own mission, and Wayne and Wax go on their own mission.
Yeah, one other thing that we missed there was we got introduced to the doppelgangers during the fight scene.
Oh yeah, I liked that aspect of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Wax and Wayne doppelgangers fight. What was it, Gertrude and I can't remember the dude's name.
I don't remember either, but it
But
was funny. I like how Wayne is just way more concerned about her bad impersonation of him than anything else. He's like fighting for his life. constantly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were interesting characters, I thought.
Yeah, I liked them. That was a weird twist.
Yeah.
You'd think that they wouldn't be the same abilities though. You'd think they'd be different
Well,
abilities.
they were a little bit different. Well, she wasn't different, but he was. He had Duralumin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he
But if you're
wasn't.
gonna,
He wasn't quite as much of a doppelganger as she was to Wayne.
yeah, she was like perfect. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't give off super waxy. She was like Wayne. She was Wayne, but a girl.
He
Yeah.
was also like wax too.
I
He
didn't get
gave
much
off
from
the
him.
same kind of wax vibes.
Like serious, more
Yeah,
serious.
just like serious and doing his thing.
It's weird how the personality. Like, I guess they just wanted them to get in their heads completely,
Mhm.
so they know exactly what they're gonna do. So it became that was nuts, man. Those people were crazy.
Yeah, they were
Trained
strong.
assassins.
They were stronger than them.
Yeah, like, Wayne's like, I'm drinking beers every day, and this person is literally in like a
Yeah.
like training every day to be like me and be like the best version of me in physical training, and like, yeah, they were better. Except for the guy wasn't as good as Wax though. Girl was better than Wayne.
He had Duralumin, which made him OP, but
Yeah, but like when they were like flying and like Wax was better, which is kind of weird, honestly, to me. That doesn't really make sense.
well, I remember one ridiculous part was when he was like, they're both falling through the air, and he's like shooting at him, and some sort of like bullet time dodge in the air, where he like pushes on a bullet so that he could be out of like slower or faster falling. I'm like, well, this is some advanced calculations for falling to your death with no medals. Yeah, the part where he like loses medals because he touches him, he gets leeched. And
Yeah,
he's just falling to his death, and somehow he eats some metal in the air while also dodging bullets. That was back to the throwback to the moment where he like curves the bullet in book one. I'm like, this is a little bit too ridiculous, bro. This is some
Yeah.
It was a bit nuts.
Yeah.
That part was
I think-
definitely a bit nuts.
yeah. This is, I guess, further proof that there's something different about Wax that we might find out about later. That he's like actually
He's
connected
like,
to Harmony
yeah,
in a different way, kind of.
can use the mists.
Because yeah, the girl was definitely better. The girl doppelganger was definitely better than Wayne, but the guy doppelganger wasn't.
There's
Even though he
well, I mean,
trained for that forever.
We know that there's like all the gods have champions, kind of, right? That they give some of their power to. And Wayne,
Hmm.
like Wax, is obviously Harmony's champion.
Yeah.
Um, like Stormlight, Book 5 is going to be all about that.
Yeah,
We've got that, like we had Harmony's champion. Like there's definitely like an in-world thing where it's like certain people are chosen to like represent their god on the mortals plane stage.
Who is that going to be in Stormlight again?
We're not sure. That's the
Dalinar-
whole conversation. We don't
Dalinar-
know.
Dalinar versus somebody else.
Well, it might not even be Dalinar, man.
Sorry, but okay, I'm trying to remember how it ended with Dalinar. What happened with
There was
Dalinar?
in 10 days they're having a contest of champions for the future of Roshar.
Yeah, Odium versus Stormfather.
Todium. Spoiler.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's no more Starlight spoilers. I think.
Back to this.
Yeah,
Oh,
back to
man. Fine, we'll have to talk about it after.
We're definitely gonna have to put the
I'm
spoilers.
gonna be stressed out.
Spoilers for everything.
Yeah, this one might not be postable, man. This is too savage.
two spoilers.
Where are we at this point? Okay, so yeah, they leave on
Man.
separate missions.
I miss Stormlight. Mistborn's
Yeah.
great. What a fun world. Great. I love it. Separate thing. Stormlight's just
Stormlight's something else, man. Like all the
Something
characters
else.
are just so
It's extra special.
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. And before they leave, Marsh gives them the name of some like newspaper dude
Oh yeah,
who was publishing stuff.
yeah. Plot, necessary plot at moment for him.
Yeah, necessary plot moments. and then the coppers let him go or let them go, and then they say it's okay because they've got Moonlight on the crew, who's part of
Yeah.
a double agent for the Building Police who works for the Ghost Bloods, but is being sent with Marassi and all of them as so that Building Police have like a someone on the inside with them, but she's really a yeah. So there's some weird stuff going on there.
And
Quite
What do
quite
you guys think about?
quite convenient.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Moonlight?
yeah, we're
We were
talking a bit
talking
about
about
her.
that. She was kind of just like generic, eh, cool spy girl.
Yeah, definitely a lot of. I don't know. I thought she was a little like. I liked her like edge. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yes, she was just like she was like what Kieran was saying was she was like a vehicle to bring more Stormlight Cosmere stuff. Or
Definitely.
not Stormlight Cosmere, but like specifically like is outside Cosmere stuff into the world and like be really cool and knowledgeable, knows stuff she's not letting on, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I like. I don't know. I like how it was done though. She was kind of an edgy vibe to her, very mysterious. Like,
I liked her. Yeah, she was good.
yeah,
Yeah, she clearly had like ulterior motives, and that was just part of her character.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It kind of seemed like their motives though were very much aligned, though at the same time.
At-
Like, it kind of made it sound like she was like, "Oh yeah, I have all these other motives," but then it's like, actually, I'm gonna do anything to make this work. It's kind of weird.
Well, it's like at the time, it worked really well as like very clearly at the time of this exact event, our motives are aligned. But
Yeah,
we're working for
it's not
ourselves
gonna.
here. The Ghost Bloods
Yeah.
are working for themselves. So,
Yeah, temporary.
yeah.
But
And we
I'll
go
potentially
to-
kill myself for you in this moment at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty crazy. I feel like she's a big. I feel like these people were like getting casually introduced to her like big time players though. They're not like like Moonlight and that girl that guy with the
Crystal
branches and
Man.
stuff. Yeah, I feel like these are like big characters. Like they're like
Well, if you think about it, though, Marassi is also a big time player in her own world. So it's just like I guess you just get recruited if you're at that level where you come
is
from.
she though? She's kind of yeah, I guess so.
She is.
She's a-
She's definitely a big time player.
Yeah, but she's not very powerful. Like her abilities are kind of
They're quite good when they're needed, you know? Like
Yeah, I mean Crystal Man is he's
Man's
all right,
OP.
you know. He's pretty
Crystal
OP,
Man's
but
nuts.
he's OP, man. He's so OP.
he's more OP, I think. Moonlight is more OP.
Then you think Moonlight's more OP?
The soul stamps are pretty OP.
The soul stamps are pretty OP, but it's also comes at great cost. She doesn't even know who she is.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Moonlight by the end of the book turns into basically like an angel and runs off. Like,
Yeah.
no knowledge of who she was previously.
That
That was
nuts,
actually
bro.
pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like she basically is like turns into she literally turns into basically like an angel and then runs off.
Yeah.
Does
That
her
was,
own
that
thing.
was a nuts moment.
Like, so
Yeah.
nuts.
Marassi's just like going with it. She's like, what's going on?
I was so shocked that Marassi freaking declined, bro. I don't know if we want to get that. Let's jump
Oh
ahead,
man,
bro.
I liked it. I liked it
Worked.
quite a bit.
Well,
Dude,
I
it just keeps showing you that dude Kelsier is going in the villain arc by the end of the series, man. Sometime during everything, Kelsier is gonna be the big bad villain. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Kelsier's villain arc for sure.
yeah, I could see it. That's interesting because like that's what it came down to really probably. Just like Marassi just felt like this is the wrong thing to do. Like this is not aligned with the goodness of the world, kind of thing. Like overall, what you guys like, it just didn't feel right to her, you know?
Mhm.
I think I liked her arc being like, I want to be part of something bigger. And then she sees that opportunity has come. 100. This is you can't get any bigger than this. This is the Cosmere. Now we're talking. And then she's like, but the means to an end are awful.
Yeah.
people are
Stormlight
they're willing
quotes,
to do
bro.
anything. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was thinking at the same time, like, Kelsier. Like I still was thinking like he's mostly a good guy, even
Mhm.
after Secret History, even after this, or for most of this book. And then I'm like, yeah, he probably the Ghost Bloods from Roshar, they're probably just like a rogue group, or like he's not directly associated. And then I'm like thinking about it more, and I'm like, he probably would be okay with killing a bunch of guards, a bunch of soldiers to
Oh
like
yeah.
further his plans. He's totally cool with that. So yeah, I think it makes sense that they're all related to each other, all the
Yeah.
Ghost Bloods.
And like Kelsier's quite convincing too of like his like he makes quite good points as to like why things he's doing are the right way to do things, I think. But
Yeah,
ultimately,
dude.
it's just he's that charismatic cult leader. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, he would make a great villain. I think he is already a great villain, kind of villain in a
yeah,
very
he's
like
an like right
light
now
sense.
he's an anti-hero for sure. And he always has been an anti-hero. Um but yeah, it's just before he was working for things that we agreed with in Mistborn 1, like
Yeah,
he
That'd be
was
interesting if he
truly
flips back and forth.
against yeah.
Like if
I
he if
think
he aligns now with a negative arc, and then he comes back and like another and like further on he aligns with the heroes again. Like he has his own thoughts and opinions, and like we're not always gonna agree with them. So he might be an
Mhm.
enemy at one point in the series, but then he might come back and be yeah, another yeah. It's cool.
Stormlight era 2, Kelsey, your main villain.
That would
Yeah.
be nuts. Yeah, I don't know.
Him and Taravangian, are they gonna get along?
Honestly, I feel like they're quite similar.
See them getting along a little bit. A little
But
bit.
also
They're
but also not
working
at
together,
all.
but
But
not really.
but also I feel like the whole Teravangian like capitulating to Odium is something Kelsier would never do.
Yeah.
Like that that's
Ultimately,
that's
Kelsier is
that's
still trying to
so
preserve.
anti. Yeah.
He just cares about preserving the big picture. That's not quite what Odium's thinking of doing.
Mm.
Okay. Where are we at? Oh yeah, they go to the guy's
Um
house. They go to his apartment, and
mhm.
they figure out that at an old tire factory is probably the main base of the villains, and they split up. Wayne and Wax go to find the bomb, and Marassi and Moonlight go to find the base. But first, they pit stop at the Ghostblood headquarters, where Kelsier is a flying ball of light.
Wait, is this now? I thought that
I
happened
might have
way
skipped,
later.
might have skipped something, but I feel like that's what happened after the jail.
After the jail, they find the dude, right?
Yeah, they go to his house, his apartment.
Yeah. They go to a couple different places, right? They go to his apartment and then they actually find
Oh
him.
yeah, they find the newspaper person as well. So no, they
Yeah.
don't find him. He died.
No,
He
no,
got
they found him.
no,
Didn't they?
no,
They
he
found
wasn't
someone.
there. They found someone else was
Oh, right, yeah, yeah. Then
the
they
person he
found
was collaborating with
the
was the
publisher,
newspaper.
yeah.
Yeah,
They found the publisher and then like doesn't what's her face come in? Trell, Wax's sister
Nelson.
comes
Oh yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. She's there. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
Right.
Wax
Missed
and
it.
Wayne
Yeah,
go with her and then they split up then.
yeah. So
Yeah, that was a good part, man. I
has a
like
conversation
that part.
on a roof.
It was so fun. Yeah. Wax just lets her monologue off and then runs
Yeah,
away.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
That whole scene, man, like the newspaper reporter and like her thoughts on like bringing stories to the people, and
Yeah.
that was good. And then her sister comes in, everyone's like, the readers and everyone in the scene's like, what the hell's going on right now?
yeah, yeah.
She's
And
like, oh,
then
you
like
can't kill me.
the newspaper pointing to like the underground Nuketown village, like that story starting to develop.
Yeah.
well, somehow there's photos of the city being destroyed from somewhere. Like, do they have a photo of the future? Like, what's going on here? And they're trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on there. That's great. That was great. And then Telson monologuing, and then you're kind of like, oh wow, this is a classic villain monologue moment. But then it spins it on its head, and then he just
He just
leaves.
leaves. He just leaves.
Just walks off.
Yeah, and that's what Teslin's doing to try and distract him. And he sees it.
I love how he describes it though as like, I could totally imagine it kind of being like a slapsticky moment where he's like creeping away,
Yeah.
tiptoeing, and like trying not to make sound as he's like going down the ladder.
Yeah, that moment I feel like would be really hard to do in a fucking like live action movie without being like so cringe.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I actually can't imagine like seeing that on screen and not like cringing out loud.
Feel like they could do it like how they do it in the Batman movies, the Nolan ones, where it's just like you're talking and then they cut to him not being there, and then they do another cut and he's just like running in an alley away from the scene.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah, that could work. No, it could, I don't know. That'd still be pretty bad.
well, it would be stupid. It would be
Yeah.
comedic, but I think that's what he was going for in the book.
Yeah, I feel like this book especially would do better as like an animated. Like an
Especially
anime.
the fight scenes are pretty great, pretty crazy too. Yeah.
I'm down, man. After seeing Love, Death, and Robots, I'm in. Let's do it. It's just so much high quality. It's gotten so good. It's yeah. Some of those artists were doing Mistborn. It'd be so cool.
Well, something I just watched for the first time was Arcane.
Oh, dude, Arcane
Incredible.
is insanely good. Yeah,
Arcane, bro.
Insanely good. Very, very good.
yeah. Even people that don't know League of Legends at all, just like
Yeah, which is me.
incredible.
I don't know anything.
I'd be down to do like a little like chat on that when season 2 comes out. It's a little like just
Dude.
between the three of us. Like I don't know, talking about that, analyzing episodes a little bit.
Yeah, episode by episode analysis.
Down for that.
That'd be
Yeah,
sick. That'd be sick.
Arcane's good, man.
Arcane's great. The Castlevania animated series is also really good.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll
I'd
check
highly-
that out
I'd
next.
highly
Yeah, man, I
recommend
gotta write that down, man. You recommended Arcane. I gotta take your recommendation seriously now. Kieran keeps feeding me this crap. I don't know what he's.
it. You guys would probably like Castlevania.
No, I'm joking. No, it's all good.
Alrighty, part 3. We're on to part 3 now, guys. We're making progress.
Nice. I'm just completely letting you guys run with it because I think you guys
Okay,
are better at this.
We just talked about the roof discussion between Telson and Wax.
Yeah. Also, can I just say how fucking God, Entrone is such a horrible person. I hate Entrone so
Yeah.
much. Such a hateable villain.
Yeah, he hates him. You just hate him. You just hate him so
Yeah.
much. But also, he's
You
like
do-
almost comically evil.
I don't know.
What is
There's
his?
like
What does he want again?
I don't know. He just wants power. He's just like a power hungry politician.
I did find it a little bit interesting, but like him being like, "Oh, she's thinking Wax's sister's crazy," and like kind of thinking he's next in line, and like trying to balance like being on her side if she wins, but then also backstabbing her if she doesn't, and he's trying to prepare for when she doesn't win, like, and kind of being on Trillium's side. Like I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It very much like it's like it makes sense with the situation.
A bit more layered, it's more complex. And he's
Yeah.
like- yeah, he's totally a scumbag who's just trying to get the upper hand at all times, at all costs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He has like backup plan B and plan C for everything.
Yeah. This part at the end of part 3 is definitely the part where I remember the least because I feel like it was very all over the place and like the plot points that happened here.
Yeah, I gotta say I probably was the least interested in the infiltration from Rassi and Moonlight. It was probably one of the. It was all right.
Yeah. 'Cause
It was
it
fun.
looks like what happened here was Marassi and Moonlight start chatting about how they're gonna get in, and then Moonlight's like, "Oh, I know a guy," and so then it's like something about like yeah, she was like testing her with information and stuff, and
Yeah, they go
oh,
to the
I
base.
don't know if my mentor will like an agent of harmony, because Kelsier doesn't really like what's his face,
Axe?
Steris or not Steris, Sazed.
That's odd though, man. He doesn't like Zed, bro. He kind
Yeah.
of. I think he doesn't. I don't think he doesn't like Zed. I just think he thinks Zed's a little too messed up to trust fully. I think that's what it
Well,
is.
he's just like Kelsier is the opposite. What harmony represents is like a stable state, and indecision is the exact opposite of what Kelsier is. He's all for optimizing, maximizing progress as fast as possible, as much as possible, at
Mhm.
all times. Go, go, go. Whereas Zed's very measured.
I
Waits.
still think. Yeah, I still think that's a lot of respect there, though. I don't think there's. I didn't feel like he hates Zed.
No, he just like disagrees with Sazed and thinks that he's falling apart. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. There's no. I mean, that last epilogue bit was very like at ends with each other. Like two
Yeah.
friends that are going in different directions in life. It felt like it feels like.
Zed's like, we've just averted a crisis. Let's chill for a second.
Kelsey's like, what the
Kelsey's like,
fuck, bro? The whole world, the whole universe is trying to kill us, bro.
you say, bro?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was actually there's a lot of really good like little chapters where it's just like Wax and Wayne having some like really deep conversations, and all of those were some of my favorites. Like right
Yeah.
here is talking about like yeah, just
Wax and
talking
Wayne
about
parts were
what people should be doing in the
golden.
present. Yeah, the Wax and Wayne like little like and then it'll just be like I love that one part where they're just like, "Fuck it, boys, let's crack a beer,"
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes
Yeah.
before we head out.
That was like so silly, but I loved. Like it wasn't. It didn't feel like. I don't know how they made that work,
Yeah,
but it worked. It worked for me, man. I don't know. I was like, this is so. This is a little too silly, but like I don't
yeah.
know. I love it so much. I
Yeah,
need this.
I didn't think about it as being silly at all because it
It
fit
just
in.
fits their
Yeah.
characters so well. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was just surprised to see that from Wax, but I really appreciated it. I really liked it. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's still. I think I'm happy it's there, but I think overall I'd still say it's pretty silly. Like people are dying. Like Marassi's
I
out
think
there.
another great aspect that made it work was that the whole time Brandon makes it obvious that Wax is getting older. He's like, "Fuck, man! Like I've been out here for like 20 hours straight
Yeah.
doing this thing right now. I'm exhausted. This sucks so much." So the fact that that kept getting brought up for Wax is like, I could legitimately see them just like resting against the billboard, having a beer, and being like, "Jesus Christ, we still have to save the world, bro. We don't even know where the bomb is."
Taking out Steris's sandwiches.
Yeah, and I guess
That was cute.
it was like they were problem solving as they were doing it,
It's like
and
fuck.
like
Thank God
yeah,
I
like
have these sandwiches.
yeah, that was so good, man. I love fucking Ferris, bro. Ferris is gonna go down as one of the best characters, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of love there. That's good. I'm just so happy because she came so far for me. Like
Mhm.
I haven't seen a character be like that. Like
At first, but nothing
Like-
more than that.
sorry.
She was like, "Oh, she's interesting," but then she got captured in book 1, and she was gone for that whole book. So didn't know
Yeah,
that first.
and I think she was kind of like yeah, she was a pretty frustrating character at the beginning and kind of annoying. I thought like just like her vibe, like dude, the whole approach to marriage, like it was cool, but like it was like this chick's crazy, you know? Like I don't know if I don't know if I want her to have a lot of screen time. Like I don't know, man, it's a little too crazy for me. But then she like stayed with her crazy throughout the whole series, and it became beautiful. Like everyone just started to accept her more and more, and the more they accepted her, the more she like kind of like adapted, but like kept to herself. She still kept herself. Like she still stayed true to herself, man.
Mhm.
But
yeah,
like,
and that's like her main character moment in this book is like she finally gets accepted for who
Yeah.
she is by other
Yeah.
people, and it's what
It's such
the
satisfying.
readers go along with it. we're there for it, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. It's just, yeah. Actually, she conformed, but she like just I don't know. That was that balance of like staying true to yourself, but also like making allowances, for the things that are happening in your life and being a supportive, wife, and was really beautiful to see how she melded those two ideas together, and that was good. The partnership was good with Wax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Star's growing me a lot.
Yeah, I Sarah's a good character. Yeah, so I guess at this point in the book, it's like Marassi and Moonlight are going and grabbing information, and then they're trying to go underground.
And Crystal Man.
And yeah, they meet up with Crystal Man, and they're trying to go underground. And then Wax and Wayne break into Entrone's uh, house, right?
Yeah. Well, first they find out what they're doing with all those people they captured that have powers.
Yeah.
Invested.
I'm reading this bit here that I thought I remember this part quite well actually was like Marassi when she was walking around and looking at like how the buildings had like kind of been structured by autonomy. I thought all of those like little like tidbits of how the different god like human emotions almost like aspects of humanity like shape different like the society in a certain way. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. And when everyone's unique, no one will be.
Yeah.
Is basically building harmony.
That was really good, man.
Harmony. Autonomy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, autonomy really felt like a poignant like criticism of like capitalism almost.
Yeah. Everyone trying to one up each other all the time doesn't lead to. It has its own problems. It has a lot of its own problems, and you see that.
Yeah, everyone constantly trying to be individuals in every aspect of their lives causes a lot of problems.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about Telson yet, but
Yeah, she was kind of
not much to say there other than the fact that I think it's her character served the story well enough.
Yeah, I would say she's probably like the weakest character in this book.
Yeah. Of the main characters, considering that she's the main villain, then definitely.
Yeah, I didn't empathize with her as much as I think that this book should have made me feel. Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I understand.
They should have done a better job.
Yeah, I understand the motive of being like, this is, you think the world's guaranteed to end, so you're doing some drastic stuff, but
it wasn't believable. Wasn't believable for me. Like at any point, it was always just like, oh, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're just wrong. You're not smart. You're just not.
You're not even like 60% wrong and 40% right. You're like 95% wrong.
Yeah, you're just so wrong. Like yeah.
Whereas like Kelsier, you're like it's more ambiguous what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like even Entrone is like 100% wrong, but he's also like in terms of his goals, he's 100% right.
Yeah. He's just evil. Purposes. Yeah. He's just an asshole. Telson's like, yeah, I'm a good person. Delusional. I'm doing the right thing. She's just delusional. Yeah, she's literally just delusional.
Do you think a standalone chapter for her would have been helpful? To help with that?
I feel like we had.
How do you fix that problem? How do you fix that problem? How do you make the reader more?
I don't know. I feel like another Stormlight. I'm gonna go back to Stormlight. Let's talk about Sadius. I feel like it was just like what happened with Sadius standalone chapters, where it felt like he was like tapping his fingers together in like a dark corner and being like, how do we undermine Dalinar one more time? And it's like I feel like that's what a Telson chapter would be, just like evil ruminations in a fucking throne.
I think that helped Sadie's character though. Man, I like Sadie's, man. Oh, I just
I
miss.
liked
That's such a
Sidious.
good, such a fun. Oh, it's so good, man. So good.
He
I'd
was
love to
really good
reread
in
them.
book 1. He was really
I'm
good.
down to reread. Let's reread them.
Book 2,
That's
you
so
didn't have
fun.
much, you didn't have much to do in
All
book
right,
2.
we've decided we're reading some.
Yeah.
So good, man. You just pick like any character. I'm like, oh man, I want to hear that again.
Yeah.
You know, Kaladin's like just life, bro. And I just love the simplicity at the beginning. It's just such a good-hearted. Like it's just I don't know. Sadius is such a simple villain. I felt, and now it feels like, and I don't know. I thought his chapters were like, I like them. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't think they really.
I think it's at a certain point he became very one-dimensional at the
Man,
end of book 2.
I feel like I can't have like I never got that at all, but like it's been so long, I don't
I
feel like I
know.
can have like a proper opinion on whether like that is
I
the case
know.
or not.
I feel like we kind of agreed on this if I remember correctly, but like he was a great villain in book 1 and even for the first half of book 2.
Yes. Yes. I do remember us talking about how
He needed
his-
to die where he did.
he needed to die where he did, and his ending wasn't strong. Like he was more. You could relate to him more, I feel like, in the first book, and he was more of a believable and like interesting dynamic. But then, like as things got bigger, he kind of got like pushed to the side and never really. Like,
Honestly,
he got forgotten about almost, and then they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll kill him off. But like, yeah, that was a weird arc for him.
I feel like that kind of fit his character though. He was
Yeah,
kind of
no,
like his character was kind of like the high school bully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then I guess for in Telson's case, I think it's intentional that she is like she's lost her grip on reality
Yeah.
at this point. So it's like if there was a hypothetical standalone chapter for her, it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be that insightful, based on. What
I
we know
would
about
agree. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in like a Telson standalone chapter that would have helped her character.
But what could have made her better?
Um, maybe some.
I think I agree with you. I think that it
I
would
think
not be very
you'd
helpful.
have needed to show more of why she started going off the rails in the first
Yeah.
place. Like they tried to do a bit of that with like the flashbacks with Wax earlier on, but even then she just kind of seemed like an asshole. Even when she was
Yeah.
a kid.
I feel like there was some element of her fighting against autonomy's control brought
Was
up
there? Yeah.
very loosely,
Hmm.
being like because she was like, okay, the bargain was if I destroy this one city and take over the rest of the world, then you'll leave us alone. That's like the bargaining chip. Otherwise, you'll kill everything. I feel like if we got some internal dialogue of her and autonomy debating and like pushing and pulling, that would have been kind of interesting potentially. But again, I don't know how good it would have been. So
All right, we'll give Brandon some slack then, because we're not coming up with any great solutions.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think the way
There's no simple solution.
there's no simple solution with
That we can
if
think
you're
of.
going down this autonomy route, this like
Yeah.
the champion of autonomy route.
Yeah, I feel like the character needed to just be different. Like, there's probably more interesting characters that you could create that were going down like the champion of autonomy route.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it never really felt like she was a big threat either. Like, she always seemed like she was just gonna be defeated. You know, like there was never a point where it's like, oh, Telson's gonna win.
I wonder if it would have been interesting though if she had her own standalone chapters that like were like extensive. Like if she had
No,
like
the
15
the
chapters.
character was just not good.
But if we just saw her point of view for like
Mm.
her whole life, kind of like from like 10 chapters, and you kind of like saw her as, I don't know.
See, like I feel like just think if I think about like all the things in Stormlight that I'd want to get expanded upon, that like oh, there's so much interesting bits here. Like Telson is like bottom of the list.
Yeah, it's true.
Like there's so many other characters that would be more interesting to have
Yeah,
expanded upon. Like no, yeah,
her main thing is that I'm the one who makes all the big decisions that no one else is willing to make. And
Yeah.
that's my identity. And it's just not that interesting if that's your main thing.
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
She needed to be a different character, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. And then basically while Wax and Wayne are at the mansion, like burn the place down or some shit. Then they find a trap door and run down there. And I'm pretty sure they have some battle with like they run into
The doppelgangers.
the doppelgangers again. What else happens? Yeah, the doppelganger fights were pretty. They were okay, I thought, up until the end. How'd you guys feel?
I think the last one was good,
Hmm.
where Wayne kills Wax's doppelganger in the sky by stealing his Duralumin or stealing his metal reserves in midair, and they both go down and they both break their bodies break open, and Wayne heals, and the other guy doesn't. That was a really good. That was a good like Die Hard like 80s action movie way, like
Yeah.
hasta la vista, baby, and then they go down. It's like we're dying together. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Like the last fight was really good because it was like, yeah, and it kind of needed all the fights to kind of come to like a draw every time, which was kind of
Yeah.
why they were a bit boring, I think. It's like they just draw every time, and then it's like, oh, okay, we gotta finally like swap up the targets.
Kind of weird that they drawed the first time. Like it needed to happen like that, but like it kind of was odd that they left. Like why did they leave again? They got the upper hand for like a split second. Wax and Wayne.
I can't
Because I know
remember.
they're getting destroyed. They're getting absolutely annihilated. I thought it looked like they were gonna die. Obviously, they weren't gonna die. But then, like, I remember being a bit surprised when they just took off. Not sure exactly what happened there.
Oh, her face got blown off
Oh
at one
yeah,
point.
shotgun
Yeah,
blast.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, shotgun blast to the head, and then they retreated after that. How did she die again at the end? The doppelganger.
We'll get to that.
We'll figure it out later.
Bad.
We'll get to that in the
Uh,
chapter summaries.
I kind of liked her. She's fun, man. I kind of wanted her and Wayne to like date or something.
Oh my
I don't know.
god, dude. Wayne's not Loki, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess while they're doing the burning, while they're escaping there, then there's like Marassi and them are meeting with the rest of the Ghost Bloods, and then they like have a plan to like break in, and then they like
They use the soul stamp.
use one of the
to make
soul
a door.
stamps to make like a back door. Yeah.
They get in. They free some people that were being kept to make spikes. This Crystal Man becomes a crystal mech suit, and he starts attacking people.
Yeah.
And then he leaves. And
They find a bunch of stuff there too, but like
Yeah.
they find like the projector that like they were
Yeah.
the photographs of the end of the world were like from a miniature thing that they took
Yeah.
pictures of to convince like all of Metalborn that they'd stolen and put down in this underground bunker that the world had fallen apart years ago. That was insane.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
a wild-
I was
that's a
not
wild
expecting
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I was so not expecting that, but I thought it was a really really interesting.
yeah, man, this book's wild, bro.
It's
so
just
much
so
crazy
many
shit.
like so much crazy shit every fucking yeah the theater they got the
Moonlight. Yeah, Moonlight soul stamps herself and leaves.
It was the crystal guy was just so OP in this scene, man. But Marassi's like, he's gonna die? No, and then it's like, no, he got this. And it's like, like 80 soldiers, like something ridiculous like that. It was like a stupid amount of soldiers that were like army personnel.
Yeah, I did find it a bit funny how how obvious it was that the old man was gonna do some crazy shit. Because Marasu kept being
Yeah.
like, "This old man who's
Yeah.
with us. Oh man, he's too weak, bro." Like
Yeah.
I felt like 10 times. Like every chapter, she'd be like, this old man.
Yeah,
Any
just always
second, he's
there.
gonna keel over and die. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, when is he gonna fucking kill 100 people at once?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the guy's. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
in just in a simple way of like combat, he's the most OP. But yeah, I guess Moonlight
The soul stamp.
overall, the variety of things she can do in the grand scheme of things is probably more powerful.
Okay, what did you guys think about closing the portal to another dimension with the power of?
Well, maybe let's get back to that. Let's get to that part first. There's
We're
like a
close.
decent amount of plot.
We're close.
Okay.
We're close.
This-
Then they found the people after
Well,
that
this-
situation.
Yeah, there's a few more stuff that happens first.
Okay. I'm just going off of memory here. I don't have the summary.
Yeah, I've got the summaries here. So we've jumped ahead a tiny bit. There's like there's the flaming bit with like when Wayne does flaming bunny.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if
He
we're gonna
has
go back to
everyone-
Wax and Wayne. If we're gonna go back to Wax and Wayne, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, they burned down the house.
He gets everyone saving animals instead of setting them on fire.
So what was that about? Sorry, how did he justify setting fire to the schools, or was that just a learning moment that he didn't feel okay with burning schools now?
No, I think he was like,
That was so weird. He kept and then
well, like
Wax,
he sets the thing on fire and then like warns everyone that they need to come like help him save a bunny that escaped.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
gets them all out of the building.
yeah.
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 Then they go down the trapdoor, and then they fight the doppelgangers. After that, Wax and Wayne.
Yeah, they fight the doppelgangers. Yeah, then they get to the bottom of the elevator.
And they find a bunch of trucks leaving the site with potential information.
Yeah,
Or they
different
think the bomb. They think the bomb's one of the trucks, right?
Yeah.
So then Wayne or Wax chases after them.
And then loses the trail because he gets to one of the trucks and it's a fake. It's all fake.
All of them are fake.
Yeah. And then he realizes the one's fake, and then he's like,
Yeah.
oh, screw this, and he goes on the rooftop and drinks with Wayne.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty like you obviously know what's happening in the background, how many people are getting killed, but when he actually stops the truck and like what does he do, like send a piece of rebar through a guy's head or something like that, like intentionally, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that they're like savagely murdering people constantly in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they're like, oh, this guy's just a guard just trying to do his job. And the other times
Yeah.
like absolutely murdered everyone. Like at that moment that we'll get to in the tower, that was really cool.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they discover it's fake, and then they lose complete all trails, and then they go and chill, have a beer, and then they figure out. And like there was a big problem-solving thing to find out which truck it was too. They like looked at all of them, going different directions, and he like.
Wax just knew immediately which one. It's like they're
But
trying
it
to
wasn't
hide
the one.
They're trying to hide
Yeah.
this one from me.
That one's taking a
That
Larry
one's
on.
taking an extra route, so it's got to be the one that they actually
Larry
thought that
on
I wanted
Penrose
to do, and
Street.
then I like reverse psychology.
Oh my, that was so good though, man.
Oh, you thought so? I thought it was a bit cringe.
It is a
trying to
bit
figure
cringe.
him trying to figure
No.
out which one it was the right one.
No, it was cringe, but it was so good on the Telson's side to have four different trucks going in separate directions as a misdirection.
That's the
For-
oldest
it-
book, bro.
for-
It's the book.
Yes, it is, but it's the double. It's the double. Then it's the tower. So then he problem solves that. He's like, it's the tower, and then he gets and they have like everything set up to make it look like it's the tower. And then he gets to the tower, and he's like, oh, it's the fucking ship, bro. Like, the whole time, like that was pretty big,
Yeah,
bro.
that was pretty. Okay, that is pretty good.
That is pretty.
That's
funny,
pretty big.
yeah.
It was like, oh, you got him dirty, bro. You got him like,
Got him
You,
like 3 times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Misdirection City.
Sorry, I didn't think.
Misdirection's
To be
hard,
clear,
bro.
I didn't think the cringe was the things going in different directions. I thought
Yes.
the cringe was like his thought process psychologically, like.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh,
reverse
yeah, no.
psychology.
That one's on the fastest route down Highway 18. That can't be it. It's too obvious.
Yeah,
That one's going in that direction. that can't be it. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
can you solve the mystery? Like Dora the Explorer.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that for sure, man. As always, like all Wax's freaking problem-solving moments are a little much for me.
Well, it's either like so insane that no one can follow what's happening except him, or it's like that. It's like
Yeah.
really obvious, but takes in 6 paragraphs to solve it.
I thought it, but it wasn't obvious though, man. I don't know.
It was, yeah, that one was just kind of like, okay. You just
Wasn't there
figured
4
this out.
trucks going in different directions, and like one of them was like slightly different? I don't know why it was different. If I remember,
Yeah.
but
It was
Well,
weird.
no, he saw one like going down like an alley. He's like, that's too much of a circuitous route. Be doing anything else but the real thing. And then he's like,
Yeah. Okay, maybe it was jank. I remember being like thinking it was a little jank just because it was like a bit far fetched, a bit. It was logic, but it didn't matter at the end of the day.
nope.
Oh, I got some spoiled.
Hmm?
I got spoiled, boys, for something. I know.
Oh
It-
my god, again.
if you're reading this, it tells you what Moonlight turns herself into with the soul stamp,
Oh.
Oh,
and it's
Like,
something from another book that we haven't read yet.
oh damn.
It's not really a spoiler, but yeah,
Why do they do that, man?
it's okay.
It's
To be
such an
fair,
easy
though,
thing.
if you're reading Lost Metal, you should have read this book already.
Warbreaker?
No, Elantris.
Yeah, so we have to. Those are standalone novels, Warbreaker and Elantris.
Yeah.
And next person in line to do Brando is me.
Yeah.
Or it's the second person. It's
Definitely one of the downfalls of having such a connected series of books. It's like,
Yeah.
you really do have to read
Easy to
them in
get
the right
spoiled.
order. Yeah. Can imagine not reading Mistborn Secret History before this, bro. Can you imagine that? I can see
Yeah.
myself making that mistake really easily.
Yeah. Would have been wild. Yeah. Back with like Marassi and Moonlight, I guess. She turns into the thing, and then they get chased
Ancient Warrior.
by the what's it called? The hemalurgic spiked people that are like dog people.
Oh yeah.
yeah. She also makes a fake Marassi.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah, after
With really big plays.
Oh yeah, I like to where she's like, okay, you have to tell me these coordinates. And she's like,
Yeah.
remember this sequence. And then she uses the soul stamp, and she's like, all right, I can teleport you, but only if you know the exact sequence, which you obviously don't know. And she's like, this is the sequence. She's like, okay. Yeah.
That was good. That was good, man. The soul stamps are cool, man. I'm loving them. I'm so excited to finish it today. I love
Yeah.
it, man. It's good stuff. I don't know. It's just sometimes I read these books though, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I want to read them again right away. It's like they're good. I want more of it.
Mm.
Good. Brandon does a good job. But just like in this all these series, Stormlight, I'm like, I want to read another book, and more. I want more Kaladin, and I just
Stay in the world.
yeah, and I want more Vin Man and Breeze, and yeah, that's good. It's sad, and now we're losing Wax and Wayne.
You miss the characters for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then then fucking Marassi finally gets down to the community.
Yeah, she starts
That
talking
was
to
so
people.
wild.
Yeah.
I thought that part was pretty interesting. Like dude, this book is just like fucking plot point after plot point after plot point. It's just going. It's every chapter. The chapters were like 3-4 pages long each. Like they were so short.
Yeah.
there was a lot of content. Everything was so important. It felt like there was big moves.
It was so exciting flipping to the next chapter every time because you knew there was gonna be some like nuts reveal.
Yeah, that's like Stormlight, man. Stormlight was like
or just internal reveal.
Yeah,
Stormlight was like
Yeah.
that. Stormlight's so detailed.
Stormlight really felt like that, where like you had to talk about everything because everything was important.
Mhm.
Yeah, so then Marassi is and Trone arrives on the scene. And
Oh yeah.
He's trying to create a portal to another dimension.
So that Autonomy's army from Shadesmar can
The
come in.
red and
Oh wait,
gold
did I say
boys.
the shade from Shadesmar? I
Yeah,
guess it's Shadesmar.
it is Shadesmar.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
And then they fight Introne and tie him up.
Yeah. All the Metalborns that were stuck down there finally agree something's up, and it's a bit weird that they haven't seen anything from the surface.
And then
And
through the
like,
power of friendship, they stop the dimensional portal.
yeah, through the power of using all the investiture,
Pure
which is
investiture.
well, did they use the investiture? Didn't they suck up? They sucked up all the investiture and used it, right?
Mm.
Oh yeah,
That's
because the portal
exactly
was made of investiture.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly how they defeated what's his face in book 3. They used up all the ATM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They defeated.
Yeah, I thought that was a good throwback, you know.
Yeah. Everyone's just using their powers like maximum level. Just,
Yeah, just use up
like,
all the
emotional
power.
allomancy. It's like, it's like
Yeah,
things are getting pushed around and stuff. It's like
yeah. What do you guys think of Marassi like fighting the soothing or the rioting
I
and
like
getting
that.
through it?
I
I thought it
thought
was a cool character moment, but I was like, I don't think that's possible. You can't fight it that much. That didn't feel like believable. Like it was max power riding, but she can be like, oh, I'm gonna make these logical conclusions with my brain and actually not let it affect me. I don't know. That seemed a little
there
weird
was
to me.
there was a bit of that, but I also there's definitely something to be it seems to me like in all of these books, like one of the guiding themes with how power works in this world is that it's really tied to like your personal sense of being and self-actualization. Like in Stormlight, it's literally the whole all of your power is tied to how self-actualized you are in saying your like vows or whatever. And I feel like there's some aspect of that here at least where it's like people's powers in the Cosmere are tied to their like not their self-worth, but I would say their self-actualization. And I feel like Marassi was more self-actualized than Entrone. Like we've seen her progress as a character a bunch, and that's part of the reasons why I love Stormlight so much and like the Cosmere is because all the characters' powers are really tied to like it's literally their powers are tied to their character development. And I feel like that was kind of a representation of that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think high level, the concept of her being less affected by it is okay with me, but I think just like given how much power it was,
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't enough for me to be satisfied fully. But I understand the general concept of that, her being significantly even less like affected, makes sense to me.
because to me, it didn't seem like she was necessarily less affected because I think there was specifically a line in there where it was like Entrone hasn't had to deal with these feelings before. I've been dealing with them my whole life, and I know how to like I have coping mechanisms for
I've
them.
been there before.
Yeah, she's been there before. Like so, it seemed like it was the same amount of power, but like she's I don't know. It's kind of like being thrown into a river. Like if you're thrown into a river when you have like a rowboat that you've built yourself, like you're not gonna sink if you don't have a rowboat. You know,
you can deal with it.
like you've built up the defense mechanisms for dealing with these kind of thoughts that
Which
come.
is
Which I think is really I feel like that's very representative of reality, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I fully understand what you're saying. Think and I believe I agree with it. I just think that like the way they describe the riding is just as like not normal riding, but like times 10. Like that. I just don't think that it makes sense to me that she could have. There's any way for her to have those rational thoughts. It would just be like insanity, the way it made it seem. Like you know what I mean? But I don't know. I like what you're saying more, and I want to get behind that fully. But
I think
that's fair though. I can
with Marassi, it's like logically, it's very believable that she would be able to deal with it because this has been her character from the beginning, from the first book, and like 8 years have passed since then. That's how much time she's had to grow. So from a logical standpoint, it totally makes sense that she's been there before and she can deal with it. But I guess from just from what we've read from a reader's perspective, for me, it's a little bit less believable because I feel like out of all the characters, Marassi is the one that states her character development more than anyone else. Actually, like shows flashbacks and stuff to represent it. She's always like, "This is my internal conflict." She tells the reader that this is her internal conflict. You guys feel the same way about that, or is it more like there are good moments of her overcoming that through action in the story?
I guess like there's a Bands of Mourning bit where she gave them up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she obviously has that concluding feelings when she says no to the Ghost Bloods. Like she obviously has grown a lot. And like I do feel like she's a lot more powerful. Like she definitely seems less dependent on Wax. Like her going on the mission by herself, she's like, I don't need Wax, like in the last book, and like I feel like she just became a lot more powerful and like confident in herself and like a lot more independent. So I did feel that. I'm just saying, like in my like, it's really lame and way less interesting than what you guys are saying. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter who you are in that situation, you're gonna get destroyed by the writing. It was max level. Like it just, I don't know. I thought it was just like the way they described it was like 20 times more powerful than normal riding, and it was like you're just being insanity. Like you couldn't have any rational thoughts. It would just be like absolute chaos going in your brain. But yes, so independent of who Marassi actually is, person, which is way less interesting. I like your guys' thoughts. I'm glad we talked about it for 20 minutes.
I feel like that was an interesting bit because I feel like it for me that's kind of like what the Cosmere represents to me. I think
I like it. I never think about it like that much. It was definitely a lot more evident in Stormlight.
Yeah, your power levels in this one aren't as tied to your emotions, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they fucking burn up it all. And then okay, yeah, I guess we can talk about the Wax and Wayne storming the fucking building.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic. I mean, dude, that was insane. Wax is just like, all right, I'm gonna turning into killer mode.
Yeah.
No mercy.
Savage. Just kill everyone.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if I was just tired when I was reading it, but I just couldn't follow, man. Like I was like rereading parts multiple times. I'm like, this action sequence is too. It's losing me. It's losing me a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I still have some like images in my head of like him like jumping over like beams and stuff and like
on the
shoving
stairwell.
the roof.
Yeah, like climbing the stairs and like pushing bolts through people and stuff like that. People coming flooding in from the sides.
And I guess at that point he did have some like extra powers you didn't know about. He actually was Mistborn, wasn't he?
Yeah, wasn't he?
Or... I didn't know. That was a weird, man.
What other powers did he use?
Yeah, wait, I can't remember. Did he have Lerasium in him? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. He had some Lerasium dust, and he absorbed.
Yeah.
According to Harmony.
That's so
no, I thought the dust that Harmonium, the vials that Harmonium gave him,
had Lerasium.
It had Lerasium in them, I think.
Yeah, I guess he was just operating on a godlike level. I don't think it actually described him using another power besides Seal Push.
Yeah.
But he said that like he said he had some weird feelings throughout it.
Yeah.
He didn't really understand what he was doing.
He just moved.
Moved
on instinct alone.
Yeah. So he probably did use a little bit of some other. That's probably what made it so complicated too. Is that he probably was doing a little bit of weird things he didn't really understand as well.
I like the tone. I like the tone in this part of him just being like a savage killer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the people they came around the corner. I know where they are. Coin through the head. Okay, moving on. Next fighter. Next Next
Yeah.
attack. Let's go. It's like
I remember that bit too, where it's like Wayne was doing the fucking flag thing or whatever.
distraction.
The cape, yeah.
And Wayne's like, what the hell's going on here, man? He's so phased too.
Yeah, he's
He's like, he doesn't realize that Wax such a murderer. He's pretty thrown back by it.
he was like, I don't feel like he was that thrown back. He noted it and then kind of just moved on because there wasn't anything to do about it. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like he was kind of numb to it.
Yeah.
Is the
Then he
vibe I
comes into play when Wax is up to murder a bunch 200 more guys that are not professional soldiers, and Wayne's like,
got. Yo, you guys
Stop.
need to just leave.
That was good, man. I like that part.
Yeah,
That was
that was
good.
really good. They all
Yeah,
run
we
off.
just fixed a little speech. They went off. That was a nice spot. Nice part.
Yeah, it also like that little bit tied in with the whole like social aspects, like social commentary, of the story, and like yeah, Wayne's like I'm one of you guys. I've been where you are. It's like we need to stop like throwing our lives away for these fucking idiots.
trying to make some money and go home to your family. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. His speech. So like, you really want to face Wax down? Like, you really think you're gonna do anything? You know?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, no.
Like, everyone's like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Like, he just killed 200 soldiers in like 2 minutes.
Professional soldiers. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he could have said that to like anyone, like all of them, though, in the stairwell. If he just yelled that out, like if that would have worked, or if they're just too in a trance from Trell.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, something else I'm reading here as we're going through is the I forgot about this, but Morassi like threw the slow grenades through the portals to slow them on the other side
Yeah.
Oh
as
yeah,
they were
that's
using
good.
up all the expenditure. I thought that was a cool touch.
Wasn't she also slowing? She was using her slow bubble at the same time while she was expending the investiture. I guess that didn't really matter because it was only affecting.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything was caught in the slow bubble anyway, so it didn't affect.
Yeah, well,
anything.
she specifically tossed the grenades, some slow grenades, through the portal, so it slowed them on the other side.
Yeah.
Isn't it like at the maximum amount? Like, was she consistently doing that throughout the whole?
Oh yeah, she was charging it with max power and then throwing it, and then charging another one and then throwing it.
Yeah, so she's like, when they get out of the scene long time, then they're not even gonna know what happened for like a ridiculously long time. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like years. Like, it's gonna be like in a slow mo for years. It kind of felt like that when she said it. She's like,
Yeah.
like, it's,
Yeah, pure investiture for like 5 minutes. Charging
yeah,
into a grenade.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts if it was like 2 hours left, like the fourth era. Like,
Finally get out of it.
Yeah, they finally get out of it. They skip an era.
That's a fucking Marvel movie, like deleted. That's the post credit scene.
Yeah, it's a post credit scene.
Like
Yeah,
them
totally is.
getting out of the bubble. I mean, like looking around, like what just happened? Yeah.
You're so right, man. I was like trying to figure out how they would fit that in a future book, and it literally would only be a Marvel post-credit scene. Like that, they're not gonna put it into a book. Like,
No, it's too goofy.
it's too goofy. Only yeah, it's good.
And then the Dumod, the doppelganger battle.
Yep, good one.
Yeah,
Good fight.
it was fun. That was the best. Was it the best fight? Maybe it was one. It was quite good. It made up for the other fights not being as interesting.
I would say it was the best fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for sure. Yeah, the Gertruda died because she got shot with a haze killer round to blow her arm off, which is where her healing was from.
Oh yeah.
It's all sad, man. I liked her a lot.
Shut up.
I don't know, man. I liked her, man. She's funny. She's like,
yeah. I mean, she was
I
funny,
don't know.
but she was the villain that was put in their way. Like,
I don't know, man. She had a little more heart than that. They gave her a little too much substance for me.
I
I didn't need that.
agree with you, Rylan. I did feel a little bit bad when she died.
Yeah. You didn't have to make her so likable. You could have just killed her, man. Oh. Sad. I don't know. She just was fun, man. She was like Wayne, but like a different vibe of Wayne, like a little more like having fun with it. I don't know. Like I don't know. It was weird. She had like a cool twist on Wayne. I liked it.
It was
Yeah,
a little bit
I
endearing
mean,
how much he tried to be Wayne, but was failing.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's true, I guess. Yeah. I will say she had like it was there was some interesting commentary with like her trying to be him, but in ways that wasn't him.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's like
misreading him as a
yeah,
person.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember how she misread
I
him.
think there's some good commentary there on like people aren't necessarily how they appear to you
Yeah.
deep down.
Yeah, he's like, oh, she's like, oh, you like the pain, so I have to like the pain
Yeah.
too.
Right.
And he's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not.
It's like you,
It's
yeah.
not what I am. I feel the pain every time. It's just like, and I really like backtracking a little bit
Mhm.
with Wayne. Like, it feels like a genuine question that two like best friends would ask each other. Like Wayne being like, "Am I a good person?" Like, legitimately, he wants to know. Like, that's a very, very exposed question to ask someone, and I loved it being a part of the book. It's very vulnerable
Yeah,
thing to say.
that I love that part. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the Wayne bits were really good. All the Wayne and Wax bits, very vulnerable, very like, yeah,
Yeah, and him just saying like this is who you are now. Like you can't
Yeah.
look at your past self and let that define you. Like, but like I don't know the way he said it. It was like that's such a classic quote, but it was like
felt
it
right.
felt good. Yeah, I felt right in that moment. You know,
Yeah,
he said it the perfect way, and all the lead up and just like all the commentary around it. I felt like it was, you know, it really hit home for Wax. And then him just being like, Wax believes in me. You know, and at the end of the day, if Wax is right about everything, you know,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, this actually means something. Like, if I believe Wax and everything, like, why wouldn't I believe him in this? And like that being
Mhm.
like him coming to that conclusion and like slowly starting to believe it, and like that was really cool. That was a really cool moment.
Great.
I wonder if he would have done the same thing that he did at the end of the book if he wouldn't have like believed in himself like that. You know, like I don't know. I think it made it less like a lot less of like I think there was much less of a question whether he'd do that. I bet you because he had that interaction with Wax.
Well, yeah, because he was like, I'm not the hero. Yeah, the whole time we didn't talk about the whole time. Wayne's like, this is just like my mom's story.
Mm.
The hero's gonna arrive and save the day. And the moment where he realizes I am the hero this time is the moment he decides to push Wax off the boat. We'll get to that. So yeah.
Oh man, this book,
dude,
bro.
Yeah.
This
don't
book,
make me
Steve,
cry,
man.
bro. Don't make me cry, bro.
Yeah. Wait, man. Oh, so good. Such a I don't know, man. I'm so glad that I can see why, you know, your mom was like Wayne's a little too silly at times, but it's you know, it
Man,
really comes together at the end.
she's gonna read this book finally, and she's gonna be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it helped that he was like it really it yeah. I could see it being a bit much at the beginning, but it pays off in the end.
It definitely does. Yeah, and something we haven't been talking about a bit. Like, there's been bits throughout this of Steris doing politicking stuff in the background, but now that they know that the rocket's coming, Steris like fully takes control of the situation, and it's like, or like she doesn't fully take control, but she's like, "Look, I've got this plan," and then everyone starts to finally listen to her.
Yeah. And like the governor is revealed to just be like kind of a puppet to that other person.
Hmm.
But he's actually like he has a good heart. He's just a bit incompetent, but he does end up listening to Steris, and that was a good moment as well. And she's like, "Yeah, I have like, of course, I have hundreds of different scenarios planned for, and I've ran the tests. I've run the algorithm. This is the best way to clear the city as fast as possible." Yeah, great moment for her.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was like just a little incompetent, but a good person. I don't know. There was a weird moment where he was very human, you know. Like he wasn't a very honorable man, and he tried to leave multiple times. He's like, "This is fucked."
Yeah.
And Sarah's like, "No, no, no. Like this is what you signed up to do. Like this is what you should do." He needed to hear it and see like point blank like he needed to be convinced there was a way, obviously, and like he wasn't just willing to lay his neck on the line unless he was actually going to be able to potentially save the day. Like I don't know, like it was very very human. His reactions and like decisive making. Yeah, but I didn't think like, oh, this guy's like
A good person.
like a good guy, like a very good dude. Like he really was on that line of like believe. He was very believable.
Yeah.
It's
It's like deep down he wanted to do the right thing, but like
Yeah.
he's also selfish.
Exactly, and like unless
Like, he
someone
was
put it
very
to him
much
like
being like pulled in both directions.
yeah, and then Stairs like called him out like hard. It was like, "This is what you signed up to do. This is the plan. They need you." And like once everything's in his face, then he's like, "Oh, okay. Like yeah, there's no way I can morally ever go again." Like, but he had all these weird justifications probably in his head of what he was doing. But like Stairs just called him out on everything. He's like, "Okay, you're right. Yeah, this is what I gotta do, and I gotta do it the best." Like, obviously overall he was an honorable man because he ended up staying.
Yeah, he's trending towards becoming more honorable, but I agree. He's not. He's very human. That's a good way. Really
Yeah.
good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely really good. Like I really like that analysis of that bit.
Yeah, her plans are crazy, man. Like just like blow up that ship. I read in this one book that might help, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then like at this point, we're like, we don't even think the rocket's gonna. I didn't even think the rocket was gonna come. Like this is like a big. This is like it might be for nothing. You're just blowing up a few like massive ships. Like the debris on the bottom might slow it down a little bit. Like that's an intense call to make.
It was like the tsunami's coming, and if it's floating, it's gonna wreak havoc in the city. So we got to sink it. A, just to avoid that situation, and B, it might also have the secondary benefit of protecting us.
Yeah, but they could have just like got them out of there. I guess there wasn't really enough time, but that was a baller move, man. By Stairs.
It was a good use of like an example of how high level Stairs was thinking.
Yeah.
How deep she was thinking about this.
That was nuts, man. Go sink those ships. And then like, who came up? Who are those people again that came up and are like, "We'll help you"? Are these Ghost Buds?
Yeah, some of them were, I think.
Yeah, like, we're gonna come.
Yeah.
Okay. They all like, yeah, we're all Allomancers. And just like we'll step up and help.
Yeah.
And then Steris has the moment of being like, well, people are actually listening to what I have to say. And the governor is saying that like my talents have been wasted thus until now. Yeah. Really good moment.
Everyone has a spot in society, man. You just gotta find it. There's a way you can be true to yourself and excel.
All right, so Telson back. Telson meeting. Telson boss fight.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go next too.
Sorry, I just want to say one more point on that thing. I think there's a spot in society, but I also think like there might not be, and that's not on you necessarily. That could also be on society. But you gotta find that balance. Like people don't create the space for some types of individuals. Like they're just cast off, I think, in society. Like I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it makes sense. Like I don't think necessarily like there is. I don't think there is a spot for every individual. But I think ideally, as a society, everyone would see people's unique personalities as a potential positive thing and like make a space for those people, which is not really like how reality works, but like
would be nice.
Would be nice. Yeah.
That's kind of what Sarah's had to deal with in this book. It's like for so many years, she's on sidelines.
Yeah, and she created her own. Like there was no fucking disaster planning people. Like she basically created that as like as a job because people saw value in it.
Yeah. All right, we gotta channel our inner Stairs this next year. What makes you unique? Stay true to that and find a place for it.
Yeah. And if we go back to the Telson bit, this is pretty anticlimactic, I thought.
Yeah. Well, it's just on the lack of strength of Telson's character, it can only do so much with this
Yeah.
confrontation.
Wax like has Harmony stun her for a second, and then I don't even remember what he does. He does something.
Takes away Trellium's influence on her. Like they disconnect for a second, Trellium and her, which takes away her power, I guess. Because she dies. Like, isn't she like that's her? Like, she's so connected to Trellium that she's disconnected. That
Yeah, she just dies from the
Yeah,
stun.
her life force is tied to
yeah,
autonomy.
Yeah, she gets stunned, and then Wax grabs like the spikes, and then jumps up a jillion miles with his Duralamin push to get to the boat.
Yeah, and then I love how it's like, of course, Wayne wanted a spike too, so I
yeah,
gave him one. It's like a little kid, like at
yeah.
there, it's like I want one too. It's like,
yeah.
hey, here you go. It's like giving your brother the controller that's not plugged in.
Oh my god!
Actually,
Did you do that to Nathan?
yeah. Did I ever do that to him? No. I think by the time I would have tried that, he would have been too old. He would have been wise to it. But yeah.
That's funny.
yeah. And that's crazy. He made the jump, and he wasn't sure he was gonna make the jump, but he still brought Wayne. You know, that was a little weird, but it was good. I'm glad he did it. But like, this is the biggest jump I've ever performed in my entire life. There's probably not gonna make it, but I'm gonna take Wayne.
Yeah, like imagining that, what that looks like if this were to be adapted into a film, this seems really funny to me. Like them jumping that far. It's like, whoa, Team Rock up again. It's like,
Whoa!
like a green screen.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was so ridiculous they didn't even write it in the book. They just swap over to one of the deckhands
Skipped a boat. Oh yeah.
point of view, and then it's just like, who's this guy coming over the fucking thing?
The one guy on the boat who didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good,
such a
man. Yeah.
funny-
His perspective. That was so funny.
Dude, that felt very like World War II Germany-esque. That
Yeah.
whole bit.
The subboat.
Yeah. Or like the Welded was the guy, but like he was like one of the sailors, and he had no idea that they were going on like a suicide mission, or like that they were doing like evil shit.
Yeah.
He's just like doing his thing.
And everyone's around him is like, bro, turn off the lights, man. God damn it. And he's like, what? We're just on patrol. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was upsetting.
So
And then they realized the fucking bomb could vaporize the whole fucking world, basically.
But they saved that guy. That's satisfying. They save him.
Yeah,
Get the hell off this boat right now, Matt.
Yeah.
and then they take control of the boat. They go to the bomb. They realize it's impossible to defuse the bomb because they're all connected to each other. So if you defuse one, the other two blow up. And then Wayne has a conversation with Harmony.
Or he has a conversation with Wax and Harmony where they're talking about like possibilities for how to do it. And he's like, I just need to know it was possible.
Yeah.
And then he fucking kicks Wax off the boat so he can use his abilities, his speed bubble with like, I think it was a Duralamin boosted speed bubble, I think, to like ultra slow time, so that even the electrical wires that connect the bombs,
the movement of the electrons in the wire,
so that he can like blow up the bomb without triggering the bomb.
Yeah, he can do a small blow up. He blows up just the reaction between the harmonium and the.
He pours water into it.
Yeah.
Which triggers the harmonium.
Yeah,
only the harmonium.
Yeah. It doesn't trigger the Trellium.
And then he kicks the barrel out of the speed bubble, so that so the wires, one side of the wires outside of the bubble and one side of the wires in it. Cool. It was a cool sequence. It was a cool
It
idea.
was sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. No complaints.
And then Wayne's got
Goofiness
no
and
time to run out. If only he had super speed too, but
Yeah, and he knows he's gonna die.
caught up in the explosion.
And Wax is in the ocean, treading water, sees it blow up. And he's like, "You beautiful bastard, Wayne. You beautiful bastard." And roll credits.
And then Wax gets picked up on a boat by Hoyt. So he
Ah.
doesn't drown. Yeah.
Bro, need a lift?
Yeah. Wax is included into him at all, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I feel it feels a bit bad that Wax was the one, or sorry, that Wayne was the one who died. Because I mean,
He didn't have a family though.
yeah, it just feels a bit tropey that like the one who committed like a crime earlier needs to be the one that dies to atone for their things. Like it feels like a trope in a lot of books that like even if someone redeems themselves, they get killed off by the end anyways, and they can't have like a truly like happy ending. Like they have to self-sacrifice in order to like atone for their crimes, like Wayne killing the
That's
dad.
a good
But,
point.
like,
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, so it feels a bit bad that Wayne wasn't able to have like a proper ending like
Yeah,
that.
because he went his whole life doubting himself with guilt. And when he finally atones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then-
you make a really
And
good point.
He finally actually just
I think
does
that's but that,
end himself
yeah,
for it.
I
right?
agree. It's frustrating, but I think that's why it's so powerful. Right? That's what makes it so emotional. If Wax were to die there, like I don't know, it wouldn't be as impactful. The reason why Wayne's the one that died is because it was the most upsetting and like it caused you to feel the most, you know? And it was a satisfying ending because he had an arc that ended
Mhm.
like with him being leaving. He's the hero. Like I don't know. I think that trope is a trope for a reason, obviously, because yeah, I just think like who else is gonna if someone's gonna die, like that's the most impactful person to die for sure. The reader wants you to feel like the book. Sanderson wants you to feel to be really impacted by the death, right?
Yeah. Or it's like I guess most of the time I feel like the reason why that person dies is because like some of the readers don't think that they would have deserved like a good ending because like they've done something wrong
Yeah,
or
that's
bad
not
in
the
their
case
past.
here.
It doesn't
But
feel
I
like
don't
that's
think
it doesn't feel like that's the case
Yeah.
here, but like it was something I clued into that it felt a bit disappointing that it kind of ended up falling into that same way where it's like, oh yeah, he did
he
something
redeemed
bad.
himself.
He redeemed
He's going to
himself, but
he's
now
going to heaven,
yeah.
but that's it. That's all we can give him. You know, we can't give him
Yeah.
30 more years of happiness.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got. But
Yeah, it does feel extra bad because of that. He just moments in the same day finally got some validation from his best friend about his guilt he's been feeling, and then he dies. Same
Exactly, and that's why it was a satisfying ending at the same
Yeah.
time, though.
it
Like
was
if Wax were to
it's-
die,
It's a trope for a reason. I think it works.
yeah,
But it does feel extra bad. So,
that's intention.
okay, what else happens after this? Not much.
bunch
Just
of
the
epilogue
epilogues.
stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of epilogue stuff.
So
Wayne,
it's like I really like how the structure is like this many hours after or this many days after.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I quite like that too. Yeah, it's 10 hours after detonation, 2 days after detonation, 5 days after detonation, 3 weeks, 6 months, 19 months, 2 years. Yeah.
So you have Marassi first. Gets the news. it did get me a little bit how she couldn't believe it that he was gone. Like I feel like that was the most emotionally connected to her to Wayne, most believable for me.
Hmm.
She's like, he's invincible. Like, can't be dead. I've seen him recover from everything. He takes so many hits and he's always back. I was sad hearing that.
Hmm.
Yeah. And didn't she just say I'm gonna eat chocolates all day now? With Alec?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like
Well,
that.
they're just like the way to honor Wayne is to just be like happy. It's the
Yeah.
best way. That's the best way to do it. He wouldn't want us wallowing in,
Yeah.
which is so true. He would not. Uh, and then the other thing is Wayne's conversation with God before he passes on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Was so good. It's like, did I make the biggest
Yeah.
explosion ever?
Like, I'm off. He's like, I can offer you one last boon. I know a lot of things. What do you want to know? It's like, he's good.
Was that the best lay? That was his first question.
Was I? He's like, do you really want to know the answer to that question?
Yeah. And he's like, remember, you're like to not be silly or something all the time. That's gonna help you. And then he's like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
Was it the
I
biggest
really
explosion?
best way? Yeah, was it? Yeah, you're not. And he's like, you're not gonna trick me. This is Ed. Was I the biggest explosion? And then he's like, well, maybe something with Kelsier or something. And then, what was it? What was the other explosion that might have been bigger?
Is it like the
Oh,
mines?
he was talking about the hell or the what's it called? The ash mounts.
Oh yeah, the hat nationals. But I guess
It's
he's
like,
like,
well,
no, no,
technically, those are natural things. So yeah, we could say that you made the biggest explosion. And the Wade's like, hell yeah, brother. And
Like
then he
peace.
passes on.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he goes out like yeah. What a good, that was a happy ending, like a little happy. I'm glad we got that. Little.
Dude, it was like, yeah, reading that with tears in your eyes, man.
Yeah, and then they make the statue for him, and they have the hats interchangeable.
Yeah.
And the interchangeable hats of the statue, such a good fucking little touch, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh man. And then they Marsh will be able to survive because he got atium because they've created atium from the
From the explosions.
yeah, but and this is what Zed's talking to Kelsier, and he's like, yeah, we made atium, but there was no Lerasium.
Oh,
It's like no Lerasium from the explosion.
How do we find out there is Lerasium then?
Harmony told
Wayne before he
Wayne.
died.
And he used it. He used
Yeah.
Lerasium to become Mistobrn.
In order
For a
to
second.
in order to use Duralamin, I think, so that he could
Oh.
um
So then Zed lied to Kelsier.
oh, he did. Yeah. He just lied to Kelsier straight up.
Damn. Zed's getting smarter, man. He's gonna have a comeback.
I feel like Zed is smart. It's just he's governed by his
Yes.
shard so much.
There's gonna be a tragic as fuck like point where Sazed gets like stabbed through the heart with a sword, and then someone else steals both of
Dude, what if Kelsier does that, bro?
He might.
Dude. There's no way that Sazed survives till the end of
What if it's Kaladin though?
Dude, oh my god, dude. What if it's Kaladin though? That's crazy.
And then Kaladin feels guilt for that for 2 books over it.
Then he finally
Every time you see Kaladin,
The rest
then
of
he
the
finally
character,
swears the fifth ideal.
yeah.
book 9, when Kaladin swears the last ideal in book 10 of the series, bro.
Oh, he's got to swear it in book 5 here, I'm sure.
That, bro. Come and slay.
Right? Is that it?
Is that it? 3 hours?
Is there any more? There's Milan finally gets told that Wayne died as well, and she's like, fuck. Oh well.
Like that's more unfortunate news than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Damn.
immortal man.
Yeah.
Seen it all.
All right. Wow, boys. I can't believe we
Terrace
got
gets
through
point.
that.
We did. That was good. That
I'm
was fun.
proud of us. I'm proud of us for getting
I
through
think
it.
we covered. We did it. We did it well. We covered most of it.
Yeah, I like not being in charge of the keeping the pace going. Thank you for doing that, Dylan. Because then it
Cheers.
makes me more like cognizant of time and like keeping the flow going, and then I get more like, oh my god, this is taking so long. Whereas this time I was just like, just shooting the shit, talking whatever I wanted to, like just talking how I felt like talking.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear. That's what that's what gets the best conversation, I think.
Definitely, I think we had some good chats in there. We stopped at the right points.
Yeah.
Things I didn't expect though. I didn't expect us to hold on some of those
Well,
ideas.
yeah,
Like me
yeah.
being dissatisfied with
The writing of Marassi.
yeah, the
Mm.
writing of Marassi in that moment. Like that was really like I thought that was a small little thing that was going to be just brushed over when I said it. It turned into like a 20-minute conversation. That was really interesting. Cool.
Yeah. All right, highs and lows, boys. Highs and lows.
Oh my god! Forgot we were doing this. Always
Highs and
forget.
lows. I think my low is gonna be Telson as a character.
Yeah, that's a good pick for low.
It would be either Telson as a character. It could be
Malwish.
the Malwish. Could be the Malwish, or it could be like there was this little bit like right before part three, like when they were just going like when they were kind of splitting up right after meeting up with Telson, where it kind of felt like the plot was a bit all over the place.
That was a bit of a slow part.
Yeah. A weird slowdown. Yeah.
Say for me, Telson definitely candidate for being low. Some of the infiltration stuff, both
Mm.
with Moonlight and Marassi and Wayne and Wax, when they were like in the warehouse section, felt a bit like I don't know,
Slow.
didn't grab me that much. And then definitely the Malwish taking the Bands of Mourning on a technicality was super weird.
Oh yeah, we totally forgot to even chat about that
Yeah.
earlier. But yeah, that whole scene felt really awkward where it was like it didn't seem like they'd even won on the technicality. And
Yeah.
they just
I
rocked
was just
up
a
with it.
Tensoon messed up, man. Everyone was like, oh, "We're gonna give Tensoon the power to make the decision," and then he's like, "Fuck, I guess technically, I guess, yeah, I don't know, I guess so." And they're like,
And then he messes up, acknowledges
Yeah.
he messes up, never hear from him again.
"Yeah," and he admits he messed up. He's like, "Oh, that was dumb." Oops. should have talked to someone about this, maybe.
Too bad we just gave the power of the Lord Ruler to our enemies.
Yeah,
Whoops. Yeah.
Oopsies.
that was weird, man.
Maybe Harmony will have to share the Lerasium.
Yeah.
World War
That-
Three.
Any other highs? What about highs? There's a
Well,
lot of
Ryland's gonna say
highs.
it's low.
Oh yeah, Rylan.
Teslin.
Telson, yeah.
Telson.
She was
Not. I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. It's not, I don't think it's a big low though. Honestly, it's like a weird like.
there's enough other stuff in the book to make up for it.
Yeah, like she was a side character that wasn't that interesting, but like that's kind of what I think that was meant to be. Like she wasn't meant to be that big of a figure. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I wonder how satisfied he was with Brandon Sanderson is how much information and like that we don't feel empathy with her. I wonder if he just doesn't he might just not care about that. Like that might not keep. It's like yeah, that's not what I'm going for. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like it almost seems like there wasn't really a villain in this book. Like
I can get behind that.
like there were
It's autonomy
there
and
were
it's like
certain evil people, but like autonomy was technically the big bad, right?
Yeah.
And
autonomy is
it
just
almost
doing its thing.
yeah, it it seemed more like I've set up a challenge for you, and oh, you've now succeeded.
Yeah.
Well done.
You have to fight your own demons in
Yeah,
order to
it,
fight
it
them.
it really seemed like it was like a internal struggle with everyone. But like, yeah, it actually thinking about it, I feel like this kind of like circles back to the whole um like the whole structure of this book is around like societal like this I feel like this book is definitely like a social commentary at heart. And I feel like even that bit where there isn't like a true villain, it's like the villain is like the makeup and structure of society almost that like causes people to do bad things.
Yeah, to feel everyone's personal struggles come from the perception of what they've done in the past
Yeah.
from
And
society.
yeah, and like the way that this society is structured in order to make people like exist in certain ways.
Yeah, whether it's Steris being in the shadows or Wax being holden to being like some super detective.
Yeah. Or
Everyone's like
the people in the outer
ulterior.
city being like politically persecuted, like basically politically persecuted, I would say. And like the people inside the city becoming like like lax and content with the way that they have things. Um, yeah, just in general, like every set of people is has been shaped by their by the way that like the
Yeah,
by the way that society is structured,
and the characters that we know
and all the
all are
conflicts stem from that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they all stem from that, and they all have their own resolutions to that. But still, the societal issues persist
yeah.
after the
It's so
book
you
is
know
over.
that it's not
Yeah,
gonna. Yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah,
because that was a
good
big that was another big
point
point
out.
is like contrasting era one from era two is like not much actually changed like
Everything just became
between
more veiled.
yeah exactly like the lord ruler ruled with an iron fist and everyone was like there was
Yeah,
a slave class and the upper class and you
his
can see
name
a
was
lot
the
of
Lord Ruler. For goodness sake, can't get more obvious than that.
yeah exactly and the same kind of like contrast exists between like the city of Elendil and all the outer cities, right, to a
Yep,
lesser degree, but
Mm.
Elendel is the Lord Ruler now.
Oh, the upper class and the lower class too. It's within
yeah.
Elendil.
Highs.
Yeah, I mean I would say like I mean I've talked about it a lot at this point, so I think I have to put it as one of my highs that like the like it's not super obvious, I think, like how all of the little bits fit into like the social commentary bit, but I feel like it's quite well executed, like when you think about it a bit.
Yeah, I'll pick
Yeah,
another thing that
like the
persisted through the
theming,
whole
yeah,
book. The theming is just like how it beautifully packaged Wayne's story to the fact that from the prologue to the end, I didn't know where it was going with that whole story, my mom's story, but it playing so beautifully into the ending of him being the hero, him getting confirmation from his friend Wax,
that he
relieving
was a good
himself of the
person,
guilt,
yeah.
and he was a good person, like that fitting into everything, and just it was just masterfully done. You made a good point about it being like a trope that he dies at the end, but I think it was still great
Yeah,
overall.
super well done. Yeah, I really agree with like the whole him becoming a hero at the end and from his mom's story. It was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
so
I mean,
good.
I remember opening this book and like sobbing at like the first prologue chapter. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so
Yeah,
sad.
so intense compared to the other ones.
Mm. Yeah, I want to be really generic and just say same. Wayne, just beautiful, man. The part with the guys coming in, confronting him about the money was a legendary part. Just his relationship with Marassi was interesting. Wasn't the highlight of it, but just like it was interesting, and it kind of saw him developing in a different way. His conversation with Renette, and then just like every conversation with Wax was just incredible. And then him finally forgiving himself, and you know, it was just, and then him dying. It was all really beautifully done. I just thought it was masterful. His character in this book was definitely the highlight for me. It's very general, but like I was gonna say Wax in his conversations, but I do think like it's nice to be able to add in like especially the conversation with the banker dudes. Like that was so dope. That was a cool part too,
Yeah,
and then his
I
death
felt
and
like such a good job of keeping him true to his character, but revealing so much about why he is the way he is in this book. Like constantly, over and over again, getting different perspectives on it.
Yeah, and like I guess kind of like the stairs too. Like he does stay true to himself. Yeah, like he changes in some ways for the better, but he also stays true to that like goofy, like lighthearted self
He just
to the very end. And
discovers why
yeah,
the way you are more
yeah,
along with us.
just so much more interesting than than it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
shout out to the bomb defusing sequence was awesome.
Yeah, it's so sick. All right, guys, we finished Era 2 of Mistborn now. How do you feel Era 2 compares to Era 1? Do you
Tough
have a
question.
preference? Is one better than the other?
I think
Was Era 2 a worthy sequel series to Era 1?
the first trilogy was more epic, but also I was more frustrated with it at times. Whereas this one, it's more consistent. From at least for books 1, 2, 3 of this one, it was simpler. So there's less insane moments. The highs were higher in the first era, and the lows were lower in the first era. And then I think this last book is just probably my favorite out of all 7, to be honest. So
Before, like, as I was thinking, like, to ask this question, I was thinking basically the same thing. I think Era 2 is better written than Era 1, like, for sure. But like looking back on Era 1, there was a lot of problems I had with like the structure of like book 2 and 3, I think.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't have those same problems. Like I think I have a bias towards Era 1 because it's like epic high fantasy, which was so good. Like I love the epic high fantasy of the first one. Um, and it was like just epic. I think it had decent, like similar highs but in different ways, I think. So I kind of disagree on the like this one was more consistent with and it had less highs than Era 1, although I kind of agree at the same time. Um yeah, I feel like Era 2 was just, I don't want to say it was better because I really like Era 1. But like Era 2 feels like it was better. Even though I feel like I'm I feel like I like Era 1 more, but Era 2 is better.
I'm gonna say this is the lamest thing ever, but honestly, like word for word, the exact same. Like I fully agree with you, Dylan. 100%. Way better writing. The second one was way more like well built and structured and like more satisfying at times. And like I don't know, there's something about Era 2 that was just better for sure. It's better. Era 1 though is just something. Yeah, the high fantasy, like just something special that just rubs me the right way. I can't describe
Yeah,
it.
literally.
I don't know. Like it was definitely worse, but a little like simpler and just more epic. I don't know. I think they're apples and oranges to me. I can't say I like one more than the other. Honestly, at the end of the day,
I think I could pretty easily order all 7 books though, from my least favorite to best favorite, and then we a mix and match for both.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the first Mistborn book is great.
I think second Mistborn book is probably my lowest of the
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But then it might be book 2 of this series. That might be the third worst. So it's like,
What happened in the second?
but it's
I
so
don't
good.
even. I do
Or
remember
maybe-
being a little dissatisfied with book 2. I think it was. I think that was
I
the
feel
one.
like book 2 was quite good though. It was just book 1 again.
Yes,
Yes.
but that was
Yeah.
less satisfying because we already had book 1.
I don't know. I felt like book 2 was just like really good.
The ending was insane of book 2.
Is that the one with they're in like the Malwish, like they find the Bounds of Morning?
That's book 3.
No, that's
Book
book
2 is
three.
the one where his wife is actually Chandra.
Oh
and
my
she's-
god. Yeah, dude, that can't be the second worst book.
But then, well, that's what I'm saying is that the other ones are such. Maybe book 1 of this series.
I feel like book 1, like book 2 felt like it was better than book 1 of this series. I think.
because book 1 is by far the simplest.
Yeah.
By far the simplest of all of them. So it doesn't really have that much, like, not a lot of high highs.
Yeah.
But
Good books, bro. Good books. I don't know. I like
Good.
this.
Good after
it'd be-
that.
I feel like it would be really hard to order these 1 to 7, honestly.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna do it right now. For me, it's
Oh man.
it's
Okay, yeah.
7. Book 7 is number 1.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah.
Book 1 is number 2.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then
Let's go.
then Hero of Ages.
Mm.
Then everything else in Wax and Wane, and then Well of Ascension. Probably book 3. Then book 6, then book 5, then book 4, then book 2. From best to
Oh,
worst.
man, that's tough. Like Hero of
Yeah.
Ages is a tough one for me because I think the structure of Hero of Ages was really off as well. At least like the first 2/3 of Hero of Ages, the structure I felt like was quite poor. Maybe
I agree.
The last third,
So
though, man, the
the
battle.
last third is
the
crazy.
battle.
Yeah, it's just so nuts. Like looking back on it, it's really something else. But I remember being really frustrated at the time as well.
Yeah, I remember us being like roasting the structure
Yes.
and like the skips, the location skips everywhere. And then
Yeah, like it's so like I want to put Hero of Ages so high up, but like because it was so epic by the end, and like, but I feel like looking back, I can't put it above most of the other stuff in Wax and Wayne. I feel book 1,
Yeah.
I can definitely see
I
being
could-
like
I could be
I like Lost Metal and Mistborn. I think
Yeah.
those two are like number 2, 1 and 2. I think for me,
Mistborn's a solid book.
Mistborn
Solid.
was really good.
Yeah.
Solid standalone.
It is, yeah. I want to get someone to read that. It's a
Yeah.
goal for the next 2 years.
It's a good
Get
story.
someone to read that book and tell me what they think. Like that'd be a pretty good first fantasy book, I feel like.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would choose out of the books we've read for sure.
To recommend
Yeah.
to someone.
Yeah, it's just fun, man. Fun.
That's a heist story. You can get into it quickly. There's a main villain that's very villainy. It's a good. All the cozy stuff is there, but also the crazy magic system makes it interesting.
And that first part with Kelsier coming in, man, with the fucking they're in the fields and like treating
the first scene.
the first scene with Kelsier, man, that was good, man. That was
Yeah.
walks in the warehouse.
I remember us being skeptical about the whole series. Like, oh, we're coming off the Stormlight. Like, how much better can it be? And then we read the prologue, and we're like, oh shit, okay, this is actually gonna be good.
Yeah. Dude, I remember feeling the same way coming into Era 2. I was like, Midwestern? Ew.
Yeah, super sauce. Like
No, but Brandon does it again.
he's so talented, man. And I don't know, I like how it's not how it's hard to compare for me. Like, I just find they're all so different. Like I love the simplicity of the first era compared to Stormlight. Like I like Mistborn overall, like the whole just I like how it's simpler and like shorter books, and I don't know. It's just a nice change of pace. Like I don't know if it's just beautiful in its own way. You know.
Mhm.
He's got it all, man. He's got all the tricks up his sleeve. Good. But yeah, let me know, you guys, what you think with the books. Which book you're choosing? Looks like Dylan narrowed it down to 2. I guess Kieran, you'll have to choose.
All right, I'll take a look.
Yeah, have a look at all 3 though. You know, if you're really into the gentleman one, we can maybe have a discussion on it too. What do you think?
Great.
I was in a sad mood though when I when I picked those 3 books, so we'll see. Those 2 books, the nonfiction ones, are pretty depressing. So if we can also, yeah. Anyways,
All right.
we can also end the pod too right now.
Yeah,
probably a good point.
I was gonna say
We'll wrap it up.
it's been great. Era 2 of Mistborn. This wraps it up for us.
Yeah.
If you've been watching. If you're one of our few viewers, thank you.
Thank you. Or we're moving on to something
Yeah.
next
Move
time.
on.
A completely changed pace.
well,
Probably.
Yeah, we'll come to Brando's back to Brando soon, but
Uh,
we're moving away for a book at least.
all right. We'll catch you next time on Books on Tap. Peace.
Peace.